like, we'll get back to that.
Funhouse active, king of the palace, rubber like Malcolm, balled up fist in the air to the fast lit, yeah, hands up in the air till they gun me down. I keep it 100, they crunching the numbers, I'm getting wild. Young nigga got a fetish for success. If I ain't next, and I just leave impression. Next to rain on the window pane, puffin' plain Jane. Let them second guess me, wanna cop the Porsche with the porcelain skin. Grip the wheels, let the horses just spin. Why they trash to the chore on my list? Out of this orbit, I saw with the pen. I'm eating good, Miss Caloric as shit. I sipped the potion and poured it. I on the tide when she poured it. Opportunity knock at the door, then I grin. They rush for the doors, then they open like this.
Welcome back. Another episode of E.P.I.C Podcast. We're back again with a full house this week. Got Jared back in the house, man. Glad you feeling better, my brother. So what? How was y'all weekend, man? How was y'all weekend?
It's cool.
Cool, man. Mine was
Anybody in
straight.
general, you just gonna throw it out there. How was the weekend, man? Weekend was the weekend. You know how the weekend
was
goes.
the weekend.
It
Exactly.
comes, it goes. I look. I left work on Friday, and it felt like Saturday. I went back to work, but it was
Correct.
Monday. It's the weekend.
Correct.
Man.
Okay, cool. Man, nothing eventful my weekend either, man. Just a normal weekend, doing our thing. But episode 18, we are back in the house. We got a special episode for y'all today, man. We have some special guests today. We're going to talk a little college basketball. We're going to talk about the NBA, how can we fix it? And we're going to talk about the NFL, this free agency. We're going to talk about the draft and about these franchise tags and should they keep them? Should they get rid of them? Do we like them? Do we agree with them? So on and so forth. But to help us with our college basketball topics, we're not a big college basketball show, but to give us a little help, we brought on our guys from Crossroad Sports. We got Jonathan and we got Brandon in the house today.
Wah, 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 wah.
You got air horns, bro.
We got horns.
Where's your mixing board at?
It's right here. I got it.
Hey,
That's what I like to hear.
We're gonna bring that in the review as well. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, I
I can't win. How y'all doing today, man?
Hey man, we're doing fine. I'm Jonathan Birdsong. That's Brandon Reef. Brandon Reef is actually Crossroads founder. So I'll let Brandon take the stage.
Yeah, introduce yourself and what is Crossroad Sports, man?
Yeah, absolutely. Brandon Reef, Crossroads Sports, originally from Lafayette area, so Boilermaker country. So don't hold that against me at all. No, Crossroads Sports, man. Actually, we just are coming up this year. This next week is the 6th year that I've had Crossroads Sports around. It started out as Reef's Take, just off my last name, and just kind of me just wanting a platform to be able to talk shop there pretty much, kind of like the LeBron James the shop that they have. Wanting to talk sports with guys and record it and put it out there, and it's developed over the last 6 years now coming up, and we've got the media credentials where we're going to sporting events, and I'm actually being able to ask these coaches questions, which is kind of scary. You know, I'm talking to Matt Painter, asking him questions, and it's like, man, you know, I will say, as fun as it is almost like the higher club where they see you come in, the traditional media, and they don't want you to come in because there's a little blogger boy here or a little podcast while they work their 30-some years getting to where they're at, and we've done, a couple years, and we're pretty much right there with them right now. So other than that, no, man, Crossroads Sports, weekly podcast every week. We got a website, radio show. Kind of like you guys, man. We like what you guys are doing as well, and we've had a couple of you guys on ours, and we're excited to be to collab with you guys.
Yeah, man, we appreciate y'all coming over and showing us some love, man. Jonathan, man, what's your role in Crossroad Sports, man? How'd you get into Crossroad?
Dude, me and Brandon used to work 100 years ago together at a now defunct electronics company on the west side of town. That's actually how I met Justin Fox too. We worked at the same at different times though. At different times we all kind of worked together, and kind of like during that time, man, we During downtime, like in between customers, because it was a retail facility, right? I'm not giving nobody no credit because, like, you start
No, no,
mentioning, you
right
start
up.
mentioning, no, you start mentioning other, start mentioning, companies, and they ain't no paid sponsor, man.
No free
Mm,
We're not
ads.
doing that. No,
mm.
ain't no free ass, man. But like on all seriousness, man, we used to work there, and like during in between customers, man, like we would like talk about like what people kind of talk about sports. Who you like John Elway? Do you like who you think was the greatest quarterback at the time? This is before Tom Brady went on this incredible run that he was on, and those are the kind of conversations that we would have. So Brandon just kind of remembered me from those times, as saying, I mean, because it wasn't his life work to to finish at Best Buy, and it wasn't my life's work to finish at Best Buy either. So me and him was kind of in a pretty good space, man, to kind of like work it out. And like he asked me, I can't even remember what day. I can't. It was maybe about three years ago now, maybe four now. I can't even remember.
4.
It's all
I think it's
blurred.
4.
Four. Yeah. So, but like now he asked me to kind of talk about NBA draft, and this is when I still kind of respected the NBA. You know what I'm saying? We'll talk about that later.
Yeah.
but but like nah, man. And we went over the draft. We had, I think a caller called in. And we kind of, debated about who I thought should have been number one. I couldn't tell you who it was. I know it wasn't Anthony Bennett. You know what I'm saying? you know what I mean? You know what I mean? But like, nah, man. So, like, in a way, here we are, man. Like, what Brandon says is 100% true. You know what I'm saying? You ask for credentials. They got to take you, they'll take you seriously if you seem like you are serious. So you can't, it's not like, what I'm saying? I, that's how I can that's the best way I can put it. If you take yourself serious with this, because everybody and their mother, it's kind of like 90s hip hop labels. Everybody and their mother got a podcast now.
Right.
You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? It kind of irritates me from a media standpoint, not to go on a tangent, I know terrible.
Oh no, you good.
But to see sports guys now, like active sports athletes have podcasts, man, because like, dude, you supposed to be working on your craft and like you working on critiquing it's weird to me. It's weird to me, but
I agree.
that's
Yeah.
but anyway, but like no man, so if you take this craft seriously, man, you know what I'm saying, those institutions, whether it be me and Brandon just went to the Horizon League championship, and I know who cares. I know you can say that. Who cares about the Raleigh champion? But like once you get in that atmosphere and see guys really like trying to go for it, and guys on scholarship, not necessarily getting a whole lot of NIL money or anything like that, you come out respecting a whole lot. You know what I'm saying? Than what you think you might not know about the Horizon League. You know what I'm saying? Man, it's a bunch of JUCOs, and it's not that. You know what
Right.
I'm saying?
Right.
So, like I said, here we are. You know what I'm saying? Sweet season 6, man. I kind of run some of the social media stuff for Crossroad Sports. I also, commentate on NBA. I watch too much college basketball.
But
I
that's a
watch too
good
Yeah.
much
thing.
college, and then like I kind of like the drama. I kind of like talk about the drama and I like the not
Hmm.
He's
not
our
the
Justin.
yeah
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm about to
not
say
necessarily
he's your
The good
Justin.
the good thing about our show, and I forgot to mention, is it's a live internet radio show. So we have a call-in number where anybody in the world can
Oh,
call
okay,
in.
okay.
So we've had people from Atlanta, from Los Angeles, we've had people from Canada call in, we've had people from Europe call in on the
hmm
show. And sometimes if they don't like a take we have, I mean, they'll go toe to toe with us, and we want that. We accept, bring it on, let's do it. We're not
Man,
going to do a first take and we're just screaming at each other, top of our
right.
lungs. But we like that, and that's different from our show. Is being able to people can call in wherever they're at any point and give us their thoughts on things. So
No, man, that's awesome, man. Yeah, man, we're trying to get to that status. So like, I appreciate y'all showing us love. I appreciate y'all giving us a chance to collab with y'all on both ends. Y'all coming over here, us coming over there. We really appreciate that on all levels. So, with that being said, and y'all being into college basketball, I think it's
There we go.
okay. I think it's great that we can have y'all on here to help us with college basketball because we're not well versed in that area. So, with that being said, man, let's kick it off with who are some of y'all favorites going into March Madness. Now, me, I'm gonna speak for myself and put it out there. I usually just follow the Indiana teams when it comes to basketball, college basketball. Hey, IU, the Purdue's, Notre Dame. I just keep it that simple. I'm like, look, I ain't venturing out. I'm not coattail riders. I just keep it in the state for college basketball. Now, college football is different. So, who from the state is looking good? Who should I ride with this year? I know Purdue's been doing well, but
Say IU.
John, you want to take this at first?
It
In
ain't
a in
Purdue.
a in a long, we gotta. I'll be honest with you. You gotta see where the seedings put Purdue and where the seedings put IU at. That is important. Like these young guys, the better they play in front of somebody they know, the better they play in the crowd that they, what I'm saying, hey, my uncle, cousin, whoever else drove up here from, that's how better that they play. You
Right.
know what I'm saying? So let's say Purdue is playing in Louisville. I would kind of almost pencil Purdue in at least to the Sweet 16 for sure. I'll be honest with you. If they're playing like out of that Louisville bracket, you can
Okay.
kind of pencil that in because that. But if they put Purdue like shamefully somewhere in New York City,
Why you
you
say
know what I'm
that?
saying?
Why is that?
Just because, again, it's not saying that those fans are not going to fly there or do that, but like, you know, everybody's not balling on a budget, and like those fans rather they like to travel. So those things. College basketball. That's like the important thing. Like I don't know why we can talk at some point. I don't know why at some point they're trying to make college football into the NFL, and like that's not going to work because rivalries.
No.
That's how college football is built on rivalry. So you can't
Yeah.
just say, oh, you know what I'm saying. But so the same thing regionally can be said about college basketball. That's what you know what I mean. It's kind of okay.
It's
Check this out. Check this out. It's kind of why Butler sucks right now. They don't play nobody here locally.
Yeah. Yeah.
They're playing a bunch of Big East teams. You
Yeah.
don't care. I mean, you don't Butler playing Ball State. That would raise your eyebrows because that's a local team. You know what I mean? That's a local Indiana product, right?
Right. We're gonna
They
hear
don't
about it.
leave, but right, but they don't even like schedule them on their preseason, and they might schedule Purdue IU. Okay, and then you catch it. But then, are you, unless you like me crazy, are you really gonna watch Butler and Creighton? No.
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 Are you really gonna watch? You
no.
definitely don't. They lost to St. John's
I mean, I
last
would.
night.
Yeah.
They lost. Right. Thank you, Brandon. Brandon, they lost to St. John's last night, but hell, they
St.
beat
John's a
St.
good
John's.
team, especially with
Well, they
them being
beat.
in New York City.
And I'm about to say
And
St.
right.
John has traditionally been
No, no, no. Yeah,
decent.
yeah. Chris Mullin and Mark Jackson ain't out there. Okay,
But
Yeah.
John, they
That's true
took,
too.
and I'll
What
say it in a
about
bit
Jameer?
when I talk about my
yeah,
teams.
but yeah, 2 weeks
They
ago
took
Butler
Martech,
beat.
worked out pretty
Two
far.
weeks ago Butler beat them in Hinkle. You see what I'm saying? The same
Okay.
Butler team beat the same St. John team that they lost to, blew out by last night. They beat them. They beat them the same way in Hinkle. So it does matter where these teams are at. So
I
uh, go
honestly,
ahead, Brandon. Mm-hmm.
and,
Go
and,
ahead.
and I try to look at it the most logical way from both sides, even though, like I said, I'm from Purdue area, so I follow the Boilermakers quite a bit. Right now, Purdue's slated as a 2 seed, and right now they're for the South in Louisville is where they would go for the regionals. Right now, they're slated for Columbus as their first 2 games, which is what 2 hours away from here. So, as John said, should be an easy to get through for that weekend. You would think as a 2 seed. Where it gets tricky is UCLA. So UCLA today, yesterday they lost their best defensive player, Pac-12 Player of the Year for defense. He's out for the rest of the tournament. So
Oh
they
shoot.
could sneak up and get the number 1 seed in the West. If UCA loses either tomorrow or Saturday, Purdue could jump them, go to a 1. If that's the case, they'll still have the first 2 games in Columbus. It's that regional. They're going to have to go out west to Las Vegas. That's where
That's
it could
where it
get a
gets
little
kooky.
tricky for them. For
Yeah,
Indiana's sake, they're probably going to play East somewhere in Orlando, probably their first game. Right now, we've got them as a 4 seed.
This
Seeing how they can move all the way
this
up to a 3,
program
depending on how they do for the Big Ten tournament. Uh,
this
but they're
program
looking to
is
play in
not
the
built for this.
Midwest with Kansas City. So I think they'll do well. If you're asking me who will go further, I think the brackets. I think it's set up for IU to go further than Purdue based
Okay.
on locations and how seedings could be. But we'll know more Sunday night
Whatever.
after the game.
Oh, that is echoing bad. Jared, you got a huge
All right,
echo. Yeah, we might have to lose Jared. I don't know what's going on his side. This ain't normal Jared
Hey,
things.
he gonna rain on my IU parade.
Yeah. So okay. So I should keep my own IU, and Purdue is based on wherever they're located in the bracket. So I'm gonna have to pay attention a little
mm-hmm.
bit so I can fill the
Yep.
bracket out correctly. We're thinking about doing brackets, so that may be a thing to do too. Justin, what about you, man? You got any questions about this college football season, man? What you doing in March Madness? Or you going underdogs all the way through?
Well, college basketball, not
Basketball, my
football.
fault.
Yeah,
Sorry.
yeah, yeah,
Sorry.
yeah.
Go ahead.
But no, really, I guess my question, we kind of was talking about it before the show, before we started, which is it possible? Do y'all see Carolina making any kind of run, given the experience? You know, the guys coming back. Do you see any way they can make a run?
I mean, let's look at it right now. Last year they were what 9 seed
Mm-mm.
going into the tournament. Didn't
Hmm.
show a lick going into the ACC tournament last year. If any, I think they can make a run easily. Do I see them getting past the first weekend? Probably not. But I think they can squeak out at least the first game because they're most likely probably going to be, and it's going to hurt some Carolina fans' feelings, but it could be an 11 or they could be in that play-in game at the 12 seed play-in, and that's weird seeing Carolina at that type of
Oh
seeding.
yeah. Oh yeah, it definitely is. So that's why I'm asking. Because okay, so let me ask you this then: staying within that conference, what about Miami? Are they legit?
See, I like Miami. They got tested today by Georgia was it Georgia Tech? Is that who they played today? I
I
can't remember,
believe so.
John. But they got tested today by that Georgia Tech team, and I like the shooters for Miami. I think with that head coach in there down there with him, Larinaga and them, he's got the experience. I can easily
Yeah, they
see
made
them
it.
going to
Yeah,
that
they made
Sweet
it to the Elite
16
Eight. Yeah, they made it to
in
the
the
Elite
late.
Eight. The Elite Eight. That's the tongue twister. Last year, they got the kid. He transferred from Kansas State. It was crazy because he got a crazy NIL.
Yeah,
You know what I'm
Nigel
saying?
and
Deal.
Pack.
Nigel
Okay.
Pack transfer. He's a kid from here.
Yep.
Nigel Pack transfers over there. He's making more money than the first round lottery pick. And I'm like, dude, what's going on here? And then but he's probably NBA guy. He's probably NBA guy. And then they got another kid, Isaiah Wong, who's ACC Player of the Year. You know what I'm
Okay.
saying? He looks like you know what I'm saying? He just stepped out of a Two Live Crew. You know what I'm saying?
Get off,
I'm
bro.
serious. But hey, that kid can play basketball.
Okay.
That kid can play basketball. Like you'll see him, you'll see him as somebody's backup. You know what I'm saying? I mean, he's not gonna. You know, there's athleticism. Don't you know? He don't. It don't. The NBA don't look for that. But like NBA, he ends up being like that guy, like a Bones Highland. That's what.
Okay.
But like,
Okay.
they got some other guys that get after. They defend. It's kind of like with them. Like, damn man, it's Miami. So like the reason why they aren't great is because one, the people down there don't give a damn about basketball, and
Yeah.
two, you in Miami, so you don't give a damn about basketball your damn self. You know what I'm saying? Because down there in Miami, man, it's like the beach, and then there's the
Right.
basketball. So what's your? But they are
Well, what
very
kind
good.
of
They are
seed are we
very
looking at for
with
them?
them. They should be at least a 3.
They're at a
They
Five?
5
got
right now.
well, right, because they didn't
Oh,
get
okay. Okay.
unless they win the tournament, unless they win the ACC
They
tournament,
could
they might be
they
able to
can move
move
up to
up.
a 3. Yeah, they can move up to
Okay.
a 3. And hey, Carolina, Justin, just for you, if they beat Virginia tonight,
Hmm.
pack your bags, pencil it in. They're in.
Okay.
If they beat the 6 overall team tonight, Virginia, they're in,
Okay.
guaranteed.
Okay.
So
Okay.
But it's still up in the air if they lose this game.
it is only on the fact that there's still some bubble teams that are some. The problem is, and we talked about it before we went on the air, was there's a lot of favorites that are losing right now.
Yeah.
Their conferences, and that bubble is just getting smaller and smaller. But I think if they lose tonight, I still think personally they're in. I think at worst they're in that 12 playing game.
Okay. Okay.
Cool, cool. Ike, what about you, man? I know you don't follow as closely, but you got any questions about the madness and who you should pick on your bracket?
I mean, first off, appreciate the IU love. As an IU grad, I even though I'm not from Indiana, and I just kind of want to harp back a little bit to what Jonathan was saying, uh, because I kind of saw. I'm from Dayton, Ohio. When I left IU, I moved back home for a minute, and they came through, and I think it was a regional they had in Dayton, and the showing was amazing, and you can tell like
I'm doing something.
that pushed them through that regional. I want to say that was like the year Victor Oladipo had like a really big game winning shot that kind of got them out of that regional. So I definitely understand what you were saying when where you are. regionally can have a big effect on the
Mm-hmm.
team and how they play. Uh, I want to know, just in terms of college basketball, like who is the most NBA ready that you guys would say?
That's a great
I
question.
like the a player.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
The best. I'm glad you put me on the spot, man. This is what I do. Um, you hear about you hear about this kid. Check some tape on this kid named Cam Whitmore out of Villanova, Big East guy, right? A real
Okay.
right. So like everybody losing their mind about Brandon Miller, and rightfully so, because like what's going on with Brandon Miller in Alabama, and like the gun and the girl and the other guy and the other kid, I don't know. But Brandon Miller is on trajectory to be that guy. But if I had to get another small forward, because like Brandon Miller is kind of like iffy, like I don't know, you know what I'm saying? Cam Whitmore out of Villanova would be that guy. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
There's another kid, probably a little bit further down. You know, the Pacers got a bunch of second round draft picks. There's a kid, Taylor Hicks, out of UCF. He's like 6'9", real raw. But I mean, you can see like Walt Williams. I don't know if anybody. I know I'm older, man. Sorry, but like,
You
but
lost
like
me.
Walt Williams. Walt Williams was like the first little, like, you know what I'm saying? Well, not after me. He was like lesser than Magic Johnson, but like, you know what I'm saying? The guy, like a small forward, they let have the ball in his hand, play for the Wizards, you know what I'm saying? A long time ago, whatever, right? But like, he could be, so there are some guys that kind of project out. It ain't all, I'm glad, there's, the college game and the NBA game is kind of different. So, unfortunately, Trace Jackson Davis' name I didn't mention. It's not, they don't even let Trace Jackson Davis, they don't put him in position to shoot badly in IU. So
Hmm.
it's great that he's the inside and he's a great interior player, kind of like his dad. But they ask power forwards to do way more now. You know what I'm saying? To be interior players now. You know what I'm saying? He hasn't.
Yeah.
Well, you know what I'm saying? He got 3 years of bad tape on his bad jump shot. You know what I mean? So, will he make it? Will he make it based off athleticism and potential? Absolutely, but it won't be in the first 15, 20 picks. It will not.
You're saying that Cam Whitmore, Brandon Miller, the best two NBA ready prospects. Brandon Miller reminds me, and I told Jonathan this back in December, he reminds me of a young Paul George. I mean, not just because he
Mm.
wears 24, but how Paul was coming out of Fresno State, the lengthiness, his shooting, his improved 3 point. I mean, guys, let's think about it. Just a couple weeks ago, when all the news came out about him bringing the handgun or whatnot, he went out that next night and scored 40
Yeah, like
on the
40.
road.
Yeah, I saw that.
If you don't think NBA teams are watching that, saying this dude can handle adversity, he
Mm-hmm.
can handle that. To me, that shot him straight up the board. Obviously, he's going to be behind Victor Wembanyama. Well, I got it right that time, John, and Stu
Right.
Henderson. But other than that, he's number three. He'll be third off the board, and I hope the Pacers get the opportunity to get that. Now they're going to be loaded at small forward, but you may be able to unload something for him.
Yeah, and small forwards now they're practically guards. They can handle the ball. They're very versatile positions now. So
Mm-hmm.
I think
I
all
got
those guys will be there. Go ahead, Jess.
I got two quick questions then. One, and probably more so, I guess, for Brandon on this one. Who are the four number one seeds?
Ooh,
Your four number one seeds are going to be Alabama,
Okay.
Kansas,
I need to take notes.
UCLA,
Okay.
and
Houston.
who am I missing?
Houston. Houston.
Houston.
Houston. Yes, Houston.
Houston.
Okay. Okay.
Okay.
Um,
And out of those
those will
four,
be
who's gonna be your upset? Who's
I
getting
would say
bounced?
which one's gonna get bounced first.
Somebody
That was
who's
my
getting
question.
bounced.
I think UCLA, just because they don't have their Pac-12 Defensive Player of the Year, he's out for the year. I think they will because today they played was it Colorado or whatnot, but it took down to the last 5 minutes of the game for them to get going, and they ended up winning by 9 and covering. But I think they're the first ones to go. The one I have least faith in of the four is probably Houston, honestly, even though I know they went there that 2 years ago
Come on, man.
here in
Kelvin Sampson's
Indianapolis.
coach of the year again.
I know you love Kelvin Sampson. I don't trust
Oh my
that
God.
Samson.
team. I still think they're a little immature. And when a game gets tight, and maybe you got a 5 seed or a number 8 or 9 seed that's playing with you late, and you think you're hot stuff,
Yeah.
we'll
If
see what
Houston runs
happens
in,
there.
yeah, if Houston runs into a team with a dominant big, and I know it's like how could the college team have a dominant big? If they run into a team that has a good balance of a good big man, like a 6'9" and up, and a good guard play, they'll run into a problem. Houston's real good at the guard and the wing spot. They like to play fast. They like to play up and down. They're gonna be fun to watch. Like when you watch them, they are very fun to watch. They probably got two guys that'll be that'll be NBA guys. But like more in the Josh Hart type of guys. You know what I'm
The
saying?
two
Mm-hmm.
teams that could give them
But
trouble in the second round, if they play them, clip it right now. It would be Arkansas
yeah,
and it would be Kentucky. Those two teams could clip them in the second round.
Okay.
And they're right now at that spot where they could be that 8-9 seed, both those teams.
Okay. So let me ask this. This is the second part of my question, just to see if y'all got any feel for this. So, what are y'all's thoughts on Imani Bates? Is he leaving this year?
probably.
Oh, yeah.
He probably, man. And
Is he
Imani
what?
Bates. No, because it isn't. It's like what I mean. Just because you dominate, he had two great games in the MAC. One was first against Ball State, where
Yeah.
Yeah.
he went off.
Yeah.
But like, go look at some of his tape, man. I mean, do it on your lunch break, man. There's people already got it chopped up on YouTube for us, man. He's got a lot of great tape where the ball's going in, but like he cannot go left.
Okay.
Yeah.
He cannot.
And I've
Dude,
never been
he can
sold on
shoot.
it.
You can find him open, and he can play off the ball too. Like that's good, but he likes to play with the ball in his hand. And like if you can't go left in the NBA, like you can't play with the ball in your hand, you got to play off ball. So that's good for him. So like first round pick, no. Playing for San Antonio, maybe playing for well, it's no shame in that, or playing for Dallas because like Luka Doncic got the ball in his hands 100 times, and if you find Imani Bates on the wing, like he's pretty good coming off. You know what I'm saying?
Mm.
But like he's very limited. Dude, lead in his ankles
Okay.
Yes.
defensively.
Okay.
Lead.
Okay.
If you can't,
He fits right in there in
if
the
you can,
game there.
Yep.
if you can't
It
in the
sounds about
MAC,
right.
I'm not shaming the MAC because again, like I just said, man, like in mid-major, you'll find great defensive guard play, and like that's not what he's about. He's about like here, he get that ball in his hands in the half court. Like man, he might go for 40. You put him in big three. I'm
Okay.
saying that shadily.
Mm.
You put him in a
Yeah.
big three half court setting, he might go for 40. But if you asking him where he got to defend, he got led. Man, no, it's
And
not
it's
gonna
up
happen.
here.
So and
Okay.
it's up there too.
If it's he can wear his emotions very easily, and if that's the case, the coaches ain't going to have a head case in there late in a game like that. They're going to have what J.R. Smith from 2016, not knowing that they had a timeout.
Okay.
I mean,
Wow.
so there was two other guys just real quick. Mari Bailey. Is he staying at UCLA or is he leaving?
There's no,
I
there's no when I so like when you throw out some of these names, you know
I'm
what I'm
asking
saying?
because these are big name kids who came out of high school. So I know that people,
Well, see what
people know
happens
the
is
names.
right. Well, see,
right.
then them NBA scouts come around and they find out they get even more information on you when you had a bad game against USC
Hmm.
or you had a bad game against California. If you had a bad game against California, we got you going against, you know what I'm saying, the Pac-12 Player of the Year. What's my guy's name? Play for the Pacers now. He was backup,
Matherin.
little guy. Thank you. I'm terrible at names, man. No. Backup play point guard for the Pacers right now. You know what I'm
TJ.
Well,
talking about?
He didn't go to
Yeah.
Arizona. He went to. You mean
Yes, he
Neymar?
did.
Oh,
TJ
No.
McConnell.
from
McConnell. Yeah.
Syracuse.
Yeah. McConnell was Pac-12 player. You know what I'm saying? He was Mr. Arizona 100 years ago, man. He can't this is his third team.
Yeah.
Mm.
So they eat up like this league. Like, okay, yeah, we love you, Big Ten Player of the Year, Zach Edey, but even Zach Edey's gonna have to play like second round draft pick because you know what I'm saying. We don't know if that lateral foot speed is what it's gonna like. He can score in the half court too, but like they don't know like the lateral foot speed is there. So like there's guys that come out or who are McDonald's All Americans and they get humbled and they might try to come out, but they end up either trying to come out or end up transferring because
Mm.
that's like college is the best. College sometimes is the best. I mean, it's even better. Me personally, man, I don't want to bleed into the whole fix the NBA. I think sometimes some kids need to stay in college.
I
Oh,
agree.
if you're
Ooh, I
not in the
want
top
this to
28
say that.
picks, you might as well stay because you're going to get more money with NIL than you are with the
Dude,
league.
right. With
Yeah.
NIL,
True
right,
that.
right,
True
yeah.
that.
Okay,
True
so
that.
Yep.
real quick, since we got Jared back, Jared,
So,
March Madness, man. I know it's tough. It's tough. What you got, man? What you want to know about March Madness coming up?
man, I'm interested to see it because I feel like there's no clear cut advantage. I feel like every time somebody gets to number one, they lose. It's just like, man, it's like, and the losses be like non-ranked guys too. So it's not like, you're losing a 1-3, or a top five matchup. It'll be like Purdue losing, on the road to St. John, as you guys were talking about earlier, things like that. So I think the lack of there being a dominant this year, I feel like that could help the tournament and spread it out a little, spread it out a little bit more. So I feel like it'll be interesting. I just don't feel like there's that number one or even that, top five that just, are for sure going to win it. I do got a question for Brandon and Jonathan. What do you guys think about Caleb Love and Baycock's decisions to come back to North Carolina? How do you think that affects their NBA style?
Again, so when you talk about Baycock, like there's no in 1997 there was a spot for him where he would probably be top 10.
Sorry, Justin.
You know what I'm saying?
I was gonna say,
He's
just
not.
trying to destroy my guy, man.
He's not like being a
1997.
space hitter rebound. They got a kid named Amen Thompson. Y'all seen him? This dude jumped like Dominique Wilkins. He don't have the shot. He don't have the jump shot like Dominique Wilkins yet, but he jumps like Dominique Wilkins. Like we like this dude's already he's in the one of the elite teams, G
Overtime
League
elite.
teams. Yeah, this dude jumps like Dominique Wilkins.
His
Oscar
brother's
Sheway
just
can
as
have
good. They're
yeah,
twins.
Oscar Sheway can have all the damn double doubles he wants against Florida. I mean, I love it. Or gets all the damn double doubles he wants against. I'm trying to think of another SEC that was piss poor this year. Vanderbilt wasn't piss poor because
LSU.
Stackhouse had him playing. But
LSU.
like LSU, yeah, he can have all the piss. But like Oscar Seaway, you 6'7" and you can't stretch the floor. Oscar Seaway, you 6'7", you can't even play. You know what I'm saying? Side to side against. You can't even get Lance Stevens minutes out here, Oscar Seaway.
I think maybe
That's
he
what.
should have came out too last year.
So
Hot.
but here's what happens with guys like Babcock and Caleb Love. They can potentially either make rosters on NBA teams and maybe take that money that they would get 10-day contract here. I'm talking about Caleb Love. I'm sorry, 10-day contract here. You know what I'm saying? Or even a two-way contract, right? That those kind of this what because like what happens, man? They found out they were quick, but there's somebody else who's quicker.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But what happens is, man, they also there's other levels, there's other leagues though too around the world, Australia, Europe, France. You know what I'm saying? They pay a little bit better for their service and hold on for what their skill set does. So in some leagues, it ain't about soft NBA. You know what I mean?
Right.
We're gonna make you earn those points. I'm not talking like car crash like Kevin Ram, Kurt Rambis at the rim, but like listen, listen to the players, man. When the kid came over, Luka Doncic came over and said the game is easy over here defensively. Or listen to Dennis Rodman. I know we all thought he was coked out or whatever, or Carmelo Electra out, whatever.
Dog,
You know what I'm saying? There's that
dog.
there's that
Me?
possibility too. There's that
He definitely
possibility too.
was.
He was like, man, Carmelo
He
Electra
was
is crazy. He was
something.
like the NBA, but he was something. But listen, look, what did he say? He said in this league, Michael Jordan would score 55 points. In this league, you know what I'm saying? They all say it.
Hmm.
So let's listen to them. Maybe they tell them the truth. So, you know, sometimes they go for the skill set. There's a guy, he was UConn, he came out of UConn, he bounced around between Minnesota and the Knicks. He's over in Japan living his best life right now. I can't think of his name. Shame on me, he's a guard. It'll come to me later. But another dude,
You
Kobe
talking about
Copper.
Marbury?
No, not Marbury. Not Marbury.
I
It'll come
think
to me later. But like,
Shabazz Napier.
nah,
Napier or Boatwright.
it might be both. Right. Anyway, those guys, dude, like they come find out that because like the NBA makes mid-range guards shoot threes now, But if your mid range, if you sweep, like that's kind of where I worry about Hood-Schifino. This dude Hood-Schifino could be the next great mid range gamer, but like the
Relax.
Rip
NBA,
Hamilton.
what's wrong with that?
Nothing. I
Yeah,
know. That was a
Yeah,
compliment. You said the
yeah,
next
you
grade.
know
I'm
what I'm saying.
thinking like Rip.
But
I'm thinking about these
but the
guys who shot
NBA,
a lot of middies.
but you know what? The NBA just want to dribble, pass around the perimeter, pass around the perimeter, shoot a three.
Yep.
They overlook the big. You know what I'm saying? I sound like Justin now. I don't want to do
Man. Okay. Well, no. That's actually good because, hey, we can. This is a perfect time to shift gears over into what we want to talk about in the NBA, man. Talking about these other leagues and a lot of these European guys come over from different leagues, different countries, and playing a
that.
different style of basketball, and they come over here and they I won't say dominate, but now this is their style of play. It's real fast. It's not a lot of defense. It's not handsy. They can get their shots off. The Euros, all that stuff is what's going now. Is the trend in the NBA right now. So, what do y'all think? I guess we say in 3 minutes, but that ain't how we roll.
Nah, it's not.
They will roll with 3 minutes. But I'm gonna start with Jared. What do you think they need to do in the NBA to help fix it to make it more competitive when compared to these other leagues around the world?
I mean, they got to fix something about these fouls, man. I mean, you can't even breathe on the guy without getting called for a foul. So I think that's first and foremost. I mean, you got to allow some contact. I mean,
Yeah,
dude, you
I
play a
agree
whole
with that.
basketball game and you can't, lay a finger on the guy. That's tough. So I
Hmm.
definitely think they should start there for sure. Now, some of the referees been making some questionable calls. Maybe they should start, kind of penalizing referees. But
Another
yeah,
Donahue.
they got to start with these fouls. And these fouls, it's crazy.
Is
I mean, I don't
my
even
friend?
understand.
Is there a referee you have in mind?
Nah,
We everybody know
oh,
one.
here y'all go, man. We've been
Scott Foster.
Oh,
y'all name dropping. What about you, Ike, man? If you, I know you're a guard guy, and you're a big defensive guy. What do you think they need to change outside of getting rid of the Defensive Player of the Year award? What do you think they need to change in
Defund
the NBA?
defensive player
Defund
of the
it
year.
or defund
Um,
it? What do you think, man?
so there's a couple of things, and I think Jonathan kind of hit hints of this. So I think one of the things is it's rare for somebody to be talented enough to go from high school. If they are, let them go. If they decide to go to college, you almost do in NFL, college football type of thing. I wouldn't say 3 years. Say at least give them two,
I agree with that.
because there's a lot of these cats who would think that they can come out of college after a year or do NBDL or the G League, excuse me, or maybe go overseas for a year, and then you gonna go straight to the league, and they ain't learned nothing in that year. Like they've honed maybe one skill, and they're like, all right, I can make it to the league and be elite. So if you got a LeBron James, got a Kevin Garnett, let them go,
Yeah,
because you're setting them to college for no reason. But if they go to college, you decide to go to college, you got to give them 2 years.
Exactly. I
They
agree.
need that
they
development,
need it.
and
Yeah,
they're not getting it anywhere else. And then, I mean, I did say this on the last show. Like, there's got to be something done defensively. There's got to be some kind of, you've got to get a defense some kind of advance. I mean, Jared's kind of hinted to it. Like, you can't touch somebody. And I mean, I don't know if that means bringing back hand checking. And I know Jared says you can't hand check Steph Curry 94 feet, but there's 400 other players in the league. Like somebody would be able to be at least held down or slowed down. You've got to give them something though. Like they
I agree.
can't. They're basically playing defense with their hands behind their back, and now they don't. They just don't want to anymore.
Right.
So like if I touch you and you go call a foul, I just might as well let you score and then try to
And then go
outscore
back
you
and
on the
do
other
yeah.
end.
It turns
Like
into a race.
so again, those are things, and I kind of went off on that last show, so I'm not gonna do it again. But that is where I am at.
It's cool. I'll tag in your toxic partner, Justin. What's your thoughts, man? What you got?
Toxic, huh? Well, I'll be honest. They dang near need to overhaul the NBA. I mean, to me, I'm just gonna be real with you. It's sad to see. Y'all have already touched on. You can't really play no defense and none of that. But the reality to me is, I think they got to get back to the basics. It was said earlier. Now, because of social media and people's ability to cut tapes up and all this, you see so many of the flaws of the game today. They got to get back to the basics of whatever happened to travel, whatever happened to carry.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Those type of things
Mm-hmm.
that guys are just
Those are
getting
tough.
away with. Like I had a
Yeah, no, no.
conversation earlier today, and I said I'm pretty sure every time Donovan Mitchell crosses over, he carries the ball. And I said, but they never call it. You know what I mean? Like I seen a video the other day. Steph travels a whole lot. Like he switches pivot feet a whole lot. They just don't ever call it. And it's crazy to see those little things that go overlooked. And let's just be real. I mean, I'm gonna go ahead and just say what everybody's thinking. I know y'all
It's
thinking
on
this too.
purpose.
They
It's
need
on
to.
purpose.
They really need to do something to the season. I think you
We did
in the
touch on that.
reality, yeah, like in the reality, you play every team twice, one home, one away. You then at that point, I think you can kind of relook at. You take the 16 best teams. I know they're not going to get rid of the conferences, the East and the West, but at that point, you reseed, and I think at that point in the playoffs, you reseed based upon the best teams. It doesn't matter East or West. You reseed. Period. Then you start getting better matchups in the playoffs. You reduce the games, more of the games matter. I'm sure guys are still going to rest, but the games matter at that point when you're not playing 82. So
Right.
then I think you just get better quality basketball overall, but they got a lot of work to do. I mean, and I won't even go in on the referee situation. I think Fred Van Fleet said it perfectly in his rant the other night. So, I mean, they got to fix that too.
Ike, you had something to say about what Justin said?
I do. Well, when he said something about doing something about the season, so I asked you guys a question about like longevity, right?
Hmm.
Right.
One of the other things that I think is reducing the amount of games that they're playing, and I say that because not only are like the stars are getting hurt a lot more now than they used to, and I don't even think it's because of the NBA. I think it's because they're playing so much more now from
Mm-hmm.
age 7. So they're beating up their bodies before their bodies even developed. And then you get to the league, and I mean, at this point, your body's developed, but you've already gotten all of the pain and agony of somebody who's been playing, 10 times as long as you
Hmm.
and a short amount of. So, like, you've got to get them left games. They've got to be able to at least heal their bodies a lot better.
Right.
And then, I mean, you're kind of forcing people to go out and play injured at that point because the object of the game is to win, and
Right.
Mm-hmm.
you
And you want your best players on the court.
yeah, and they're not on the court because constantly hurt. Like stars are constantly hurt now.
Okay. I know Jared has something to say about the season.
No. Get Brandon.
No, no,
Brandon,
I
yeah,
know, I
Brandon.
know. I'm gonna go to Brandon. I just know we've
Oh,
had this
okay.
conversation
Oh,
before, and
Yeah,
I
go
know
ahead.
I want to hear Jared at some point, but I also want to get to you too, Brandon. Go ahead, Brandon.
So, my thoughts, and I love it. You guys, a good segue into this. What we call it radio spot. Good segue. I'm with you. The season needs to be shortened. Now, listen.
Mm.
You're gonna say, oh well, the NBA is not gonna do that for revenue. I'll fix that in a second. We talk about those leagues in Europe, right? You know how many
Mm-hmm.
games they play for a season and what kind of quality? They play no more than 37 to
Yep, it says 30
44
something, right?
games
Yep.
for a season,
Mm.
and they play all those games. So when they come over here, they're fresher, and they don't have to worry about injuries, and the product's not as watered down over there as it is
Hmm.
over here with that. Now, you say you shorten the season, go to 64 games or even 60. Let's do that. If you go to 60, and this is where Jonathan's going to hate me. Yes, we just did that, 2 extra teams for the play-in, and I love it. Okay, I love it. It's add more teams into it, whatnot. But move your games down to 60. Do your little in-season tournament that you want. That'll get you maybe what 5 more games for certain teams in the
Hmm.
tournament. From there, you take the top 6 teams from each conference to the playoffs. You just have 6. I'm sorry, you don't do 8. When's the last time an 8 seed or a 7 seed wins the NBA Finals? Oh, let me tell you, 0. Never has
Mm-hmm.
happened.
Yep.
So have the top 6, have the first seed and the second seed have a bye. There's where your guys can sit and rest. Work to be that number 1 seed or that number 2 seed to get those four game buys or a week and a half, hour long the series takes. Just
Yep.
have 6 teams on each side. That's going to have people want to play during the season so they can get to one of those top 2 seeds for those buys.
Okay.
That's in a
Sound
nutshell.
a little
But
bit about like how Jared or how
yeah,
Justin was saying. But go ahead, Jonathan. I see you don't agree with this.
He don't.
Absolutely none of this.
What?
Less
I don't
game,
either.
I know
dude.
you and
They
Jared
getting
on the same
ready.
team. Go ahead.
They getting ready to roll out more teams. What are you talking about? Seattle getting the team. Las Vegas getting the team before y'all turn 45. There'll be teams out there. Okay. I kind of know how old everybody is. Sorry, but yeah, before y'all turn 45, they're gonna be a team. One of those two cities gonna have a team, right? And they probably gonna redo something with Memphis and put them in the East or something crazy like that, right? But to fix some of the NBA, man, eliminate the back to backs, get rid of that. Um,
But isn't that taking
have
games away, or are you just stretching out the season longer?
No, we're stretching out the season longer. Why? So we do know the NBA has a
We're already
underhand
wait a minute,
under.
hold on, Jonathan. We're already from September until June.
Justin.
So where we going? Like,
So
where we
what we
going?
going?
August to
September to
July?
October?
Yeah,
We
we
going
going
year
They
round.
July
start.
to
They
August. It's
Yeah.
year
hold
round.
on.
Like,
I'm sorry.
They
Yeah,
start.
September to October. I mean
They
August. Yeah.
start. They start the season too early. They start the
so
season too early.
eliminate
But John,
preseason
that
and
doesn't
take
make
out
sense.
back to back. Okay. Oh man.
They don't
Yeah.
even play the preseason no more. So I
I mean,
mean,
I
that,
know.
that
I'm just
doesn't really
saying
do
though. Like,
anything.
I mean, where do you make this time up at? That's what I'm trying to understand.
The NBA
Also,
season, for one, the NBA season don't end. One, because like summer league, after the league starts, it's summer league, and then it's what I'm saying. I'm sorry, the draft, then the summer league. But like there's things even with that needs to be fixed. Like there's no rings. You don't get no rings for summer league. You need like what I'm saying.
Actually, they
There's
do.
no. I'm saying you should not. You should not.
Oh, okay,
You know
okay.
Okay,
what
I
I'm
was
saying?
gonna say.
That's all I'm about to
Put
say. I'm
it
like, wait a minute.
put it like, and then some of the vernacular the vernacular they use bothers me. So like when they say rising stars or sophomores, like dude, we're not in college no more. Just say, you know what I mean? That's those things. East West. Just put it back like that. Don't make it like Team LeBron, like or Team whoever. That's already gonna piss people off, man.
Yeah, they
Some
need to get
people
rid
who
of that.
aren't,
No
you
way
know what I
we.
mean? So like, let me ask you this: when's the last time it was about the team in the NBA? When was the last time it was about whatever head coach because he was gonna come up with this grand scheme? You know what I'm saying?
It's all
Now
about
it's
who gonna
about
win their ring
when
next.
when this player. Okay, but I'm saying that sucks from a fan standpoint because like now Kevin Durant ran. I'm sorry, I'm picking on Kevin Durant. I'm sorry.
Damn.
Kevin Durant ran
Oh, there's no fans here. Go ahead.
from a seed. Well, it's okay, man. From a seeding standpoint, Kevin Durant ran from a fourth seeded. I think they're still fourth net team to run on a team, and I know he's hurt, so it sounds bad that I'm beating up on him, but it is
Again.
what it is. But he trade. I mean, he asked for a trade. But that's not a real organic Phoenix Suns team, is it?
No.
You know what
That's
I
where
mean?
they
If
need
you
to
just
fix
say,
it. Is people requesting for trades? I think that's where you start. You ask that you're under contract. You
well, it's
can't ask
already
out of a
player
trade.
friendly. The
Well, see,
genie,
we
the
had,
genie,
we
But
had,
say
but
fuck that.
hold on, Jonathan. Go ahead, Jared.
Yeah.
My thing with the requested trades, I feel like I don't even see what the problem is because I feel like if they're in a bad situation, they don't really like their
What's
situation. They
bad?
should
No,
be able to move on.
this competitive situation. You
Jonathan, your
signed up.
finger is right on your
Yeah,
My
camera.
bad.
but
My bad.
that's
My bad.
but
You
that's where it
competitive.
comes into play. Go ahead.
He signed up to play for Brooklyn. So did his Kyrie Irving, his crazy flat
I,
earther self.
I understand that, but when you go to a job,
Hey
you
man,
just say that you're just gonna be there for forever. Like if something changed and you want to move around, you move around. What the thing is that these owners need to start saying no, because Kevin Durant had what
I'll
two
go
more
for
years,
that. You right. They the
two
ones.
more
They the
years
ones said, all right, man. It's
you
worth the
know,
risk.
you say you play your contract out or you don't, you sit out.
okay, hold
You
on,
know?
hold on. So, one thing is, we on this show, we gotta pick a side. Either we pro owners or we pro players,
I'm
because
always
I'm pro league.
so mine is gonna go
I'm
back and
pro
I'm
forth.
league.
I'm pro
but
situation.
I'm not
because
always
I'm
There's
pro
so many
it's
league.
different
wait,
pro situations.
hold
Because
on,
you can
hold on.
go.
In some situations, we're like, oh man, these billion-dollar owners, they got too much power. They can do this, they can do that.
but
They can pick and
you know
choose
that's not
the
me.
contracts and all this stuff.
Nah,
And
I
then we
don't do
go
that.
on the other end, we say, oh, well, these players shouldn't be able to leave when they want to, but then these owners can cut them when they want to and not pay them, and
Yeah.
talking about worth and injuries, and it's like, what side of the fence are we on? Like,
I take my morals and I wrap it around every question. So I'm never gonna just say, well, I'm pro owner or I'm pro player. I'm gonna take every single case and I'm gonna just, okay, what would I do? How would I feel about this? And then
but
that's gonna be my opinion.
but you can't. I mean, yes, you can do
Why,
that.
why,
You're
Furnace,
well within.
why
You're
can't
right.
you?
furnace.
No,
I
But
no,
wanted. I want the league to be here 75,
Yes.
another 75
We're
years.
pro NBA,
Yes.
bro. That's what
The
it
league
is.
will
It's
be here
not
longer than the players.
right. but with
And the
that,
owners.
you have no league without the players.
But let me
Yeah,
let
no,
me
it's
There's
not the
always going to be
owners.
players.
No, you ain't got no league. No, sir. You got no league without the fans, bro.
Well,
No.
yes, but I mean, of course, but the fans come for the players. They don't come for the owners.
That's
Dude, I get
true.
out there and play. I get out there and play.
I'm just saying,
For
like,
real.
we're not
If
coming.
there was a lockout,
Nobody's
I'm talking
coming to
about
see
playing.
Mark Cuban. They're coming to see Luca. They're coming to see Kyrie. They're coming to see
True.
the players.
Right.
So I
Right.
feel like I'm pro players in every league because there's no league without players and, like you said, fans and owners. I think they capitalize on that and they use us, especially as us. No offense, Brandon, but as
Man,
black players, we get
I'm
taken advantage of a lot, and
man.
I think that we need to use our power more. They need to use their power more as players to change some things in the league. So I think changing the league starts with the players, and I don't think they harness that enough sometimes. So that's my outlook.
I don't know if I'm really on
You
board
don't
with
think it's a
that.
players league?
The NBA, they
The
got
NBA is
NCAA.
more than the NFL, but I think that more can be done, and especially when it comes to changes. I don't think they flex their muscle enough when it comes down to changing it.
Vernon, they make 45. Like we got Miles Turner make $33 million. He's overpaid by $23 million.
I agree, but
He's actually overpaid by 30.
About 30.
But that's all right.
we had a whole segment on that too about Miles Turner.
He's $10 million. Nah,
But,
man.
but
Miles
I-
Turner back in the day he could play back in the day.
But even with
he's
that-
a $10 million player, man.
But even with that, I think that's the problem too, because the owners just look at it like, okay, cool, I can overpay a player to shut up.
Well, it's not over. Well, hold on. No, because the players, they negotiated what the owners get from all the commercialism.
Yeah,
So that's what's negotiated. So like, yeah, Steph Curry Miles Turner gets $33 million. That's because like, the other what's the dude play for Grant, play for Portland. He got 25.
Oh yeah, Jeremy.
Jeremy
Jeremy Grant got 25. What's the name? Steph Curry's at 50. You know what I mean?
I mean, Chandler Parsons stole 40-some million from the Memphis Grizzlies.
man.
But that was shame on
Ain't
him for
NBA
giving him that
player-
money though.
Ain't no NBA player can be mad about. Ain't no NBA player can be mad about. They can be mad about playing back to backs. I get that.
I mean, that's what I'm saying. I'm not talking about from a money standpoint. I think they're well compensated, but I'm talking about when we're talking about changes.
We forget the other dynamic in this. Players run the league, owners run the league, the networks run the league.
That's true too.
When it became a TV product, that's when your back to backs went up.
That's true too.
You know what I'm saying? Because like it's a TV product now that they sell, over there. They sell that over there. You know what I'm saying?
How many times can we get LeBron on TV and all these guys?
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct. So they have to answer that as well. ESPN, TNT, Fox, they answer all that.
Makes sense, man. Makes sense. All right,
wait,
then.
before you move
go
on.
ahead.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
The 99 Knicks were in AFC that made it to the finals.
They
But
did
that was
make
also
it.
that was a lockout year. They never won it. They made it, but that was a lockout year as well. They played.
And so the league was shortened. That's what I'm about to say. The league was shortened that year, wasn't it?
So
I
I mean
think
that's just extra for me to say reduced.
Yeah, the highest seed that might have won was maybe Houston, a 5th seed in like 94.
I believe so.
I think that's about it.
Yeah.
Other than that, ain't no AC win.
That was just my reduced
Go ahead,
the game.
Jared.
I just want to say the selfish in me is not going to ever be an advocate of taking down the amount of basketball games. I love the NBA too much.
Look, as far as a watcher, yeah.
But that's just me being selfish. So that's not.
Yeah, and that's
Well,
I mean, most fans would agree. But
man,
Give me
but-
quality over quantity, man.
But I want to see the best product, and that's what I'm. Yeah.
and I think that's the media.
growing up, I'm a big guy, and I grew up playing 9-10 games a day, every day. So I can't on the hard
Well,
time.
these guys ain't built like that. So we ain't talking about those guys.
Would you rather see?
To somebody
Are you happy with dribble? Are y'all happy with dribble, shoot three?
No, absolutely.
Well, they some of that kind of could change out too, man. You know what I'm saying? You had to change some of the rules. How you play offense.
Yeah. I think that's. I don't know because now that's just it's the wave now. Like with analytics and all this information, it's like okay, why am I gonna take a 20-foot 2-point shot when I can step back a couple more feet and get an extra point?
Because
damn
analytics is ruining
that's
sports.
the TV people.
Just
That's
everybody
TV
check
people.
on Jonathan.
Retweet
Check on
him.
Jonathan when they put that 4-point line in. just check on it, please, because
I'll be done
we
watching at
Yeah,
that
I'll be
point.
done watching
Look,
that then.
Yeah, I'll be done
Done with
DeMar
watching
that.
it at that
DeMar
point.
DeRozan is still doing it from inside of three. Is all I'm saying.
He is.
Yeah, yeah.
yep.
It's those
Well,
guys that just this I think are students of that craft. And I think he's one of them. And but I think it's just so far in between. I'll even say Kawhi. Kawhi's another one of them guys. Like, he loves the mid range. He'll take
Jimmy,
it all day.
Jimmy don't settle for threes a whole lot.
Jimmy too.
True.
No, he don't.
True.
Right.
You
Yeah.
know what I mean?
True.
So there's a couple guys, but most of these guys again are on
We
the
got
back.
forwards though. We got
Right.
forwards.
Oh,
We got power forwards.
right,
We got
right.
bad power. We got bad power forward basketball.
There's
You
no
know what
more
I'm saying?
big man ball. There's
Yeah.
really not. I mean,
Oh.
yes, you got the Embiid, you got you got Joker in them, but they're shooting.
Positionless
Yeah.
basketball killed the game.
I agree.
Yeah.
But is it positionless because they just are too or skilled, or is they just not in the post no more? They're just not playing old school. What do you think, Ike?
It's positionless because everybody wants to play point. The
Sounds
whole
good.
team wants to play point.
Okay
Mhm.
then.
Doesn't increase the talent. I think more guys can do more things now than what we're used to. So I think that kind of gets held against, guys. I mean, people like Ike said, people. I hear that a lot. Oh, this guy wants to do. No, these guys can do this stuff. Fours can shoot threes. Some fives can shoot threes. You just weren't seeing that back in the day. So I feel like people's ability and talent level growing has, caused things to change up a little bit. So I don't think it's a lack of
Is
people
it
not wanting to go back to the
is it
basket. The
right?
talent
But
is
is it good for Karl Anthony Towns and his team that he thinks he's the greatest 3-point shooting big man? And I and I, and,
Just
no,
and
because
I
you
ain't picking
can
on
don't mean you should.
but in the
Correct.
flow
Right.
of the
That's
game,
what I was
But
gonna say.
if he
Many
shoot
can, but they're
if
not
he's
doing
shooting
it
40%,
yeah,
and
that's what
you're
I'm
like,
saying.
if my percentage is backing it up, I'm saying, hey, look, when you
if
put
we
my
winning
numbers against some of
40%
the
of the
top
game,
shooters,
we winning 40% of the game. We stick in the lottery. They
but
give me another. They give
but
me
my
another.
number,
They give me another freshman.
but it's not
They give me
because of
another
me
freshman
though.
this year.
I'm not
They
the
give.
reason why we picking in the lottery.
Yeah, if I got a five that can shoot threes all day, I'm taking it for sure.
If I'm 6'11" and I'm playing nothing but 6'6" guys, I should get out. I should have 80 out here. I should have Joel Embiid numbers, and he
And
don't have Joel Embiid numbers. He don't have Joel Embiid numbers.
Because he also don't have the talent that surrounds him either.
definitely,
Because
yeah, he don't have no James Harden pick and roll either.
so he don't have.
Anthony Edwards ain't no slouch, bro.
I'm not
That's
saying he a
the
slouch,
other
but that's
They're
just
not
one
doing
guy.
like that. Like James Harden
He
and
had D'Lo
he
too.
pick and roll every time down the court.
And you ain't heard D'Lo name
Because that's
since
all
when?
James Harden does. It's either dribble
Well,
through
D'Lo
his
got
legs,
triple.
step back and shoot, or I'm gonna do a pick and roll. I mean,
Yeah,
They
what we
put a
really saying?
team. No. Don't let. Hey, they put a team around Minnesota. That's why they just blew it up. They put a
Yeah,
team
but I'm
around.
just saying though, but like you've never really heard Karl Anthony Towns in any of those conversations. So for me, as the focal point of this team, heck, if I can shoot threes, what? Anybody else want to do it? Because it don't look like it.
Karl Anthony
Right.
Towns is a big reason that Jimmy Butler is not there anymore.
Okay, more power to you, Jimmy.
right.
I'm
Like-
just saying he had people around him and pushed them away at some point. So
Okay, but I'm sure
you
Jimmy.
can't say he's
I'm-
not the problem.
Well, what I'm saying is, I'm sure Jimmy Butler didn't leave because, hey man, this dude shoot too many threes. I'm about to go. Like I'm sure it's something
Right.
else.
Actually,
No, he left because he said him and Wiggins weren't putting in any work.
Oh, okay. Well, there
And the
you
reality is that the problem is not the threes; it's the amount of threes you're
The
taking.
amount.
They have
Mhm.
forgotten that you can play inside the arc, and it's still
go.
called
Be effective.
basketball.
Yep.
Like I said, analytics are people. Don't get me wrong; they have a place,
They
but
do.
people are reading way too much into it. And then, like I said, I thought it was terrible once I heard Chicago was pressuring Zach LaVine to take more threes. I'm like,
Mhm.
why?
No.
He was very
No.
efficient when he wasn't shooting, 4 or 5 threes a game. So
Right.
let him be. That is not his game.
But then,
Guys can shoot a three, that's fine, but let them shoot it within the flow in which they're comfortable. The NBA now has just put such a focus on it. That's the problem.
and that's because Golden State. Once they
Golden
show
State don't have
Copycat
bigs that
league.
shoot no threes, so I don't want to hear that.
Draymond shoots threes.
No,
He
he
can't
can't.
make
Draymond
them.
don't even shoot.
We ain't saying we ain't talking about
Draymond
making
don't
them. We
even
talking about
shoot.
shooting them.
Draymond don't shoot them. I mean,
Okay.
you're talking about a guy who shoots 4 shots a game at most. Like, let's not. Come on, man.
No,
Like, you
but
need to be real
that's
about your
great
argument if you're gonna
moment.
make an
Okay,
argument.
Yeah.
okay then.
That is
Okay, so where did this 3-point these beret 3-point shots start at?
But
Who
it
had
come
the
from
first unlimited green light?
Reggie Miller.
Reggie, yeah. I mean, you can go back years ago to find
So,
guys who had a
and I'm
crazy
oh
glad
yeah,
you
green.
said that
they ran screens for him.
because
They
I
ran
just
screens for
pulled
him.
up NBA 3-point attempts per year in the NBA.
They go up every year. They've broken
Before
that record for the last
1993, the average was 9. After 94-95 season up, it started at 15, then 16, and then 17. And then it dropped randomly for like 4 years again before it picked back up. But
When
yeah, Reggie Miller era.
when did it pick up though?
So it was 90, like I said, 93-94, it was 9.9 a game.
Okay,
And then 94-95, it was 15.3.
you
And then the
said it got
next
up
year
to
was
17.
Yeah, then it was 16, and then 96-97, it was at 17.
Okay, so when did it go? Did it ever go up from 17, or has it stayed consistent at 17?
It's probably
It's
40
went
now.
up.
It's like 30 something now. I feel like.
Yeah,
it's in the 20s.
drastically went up.
Yeah.
No,
it's
that's what I'm saying.
crazy.
When was the drastic change from 17 to whatever it is now?
When Shaq retired, it gotta be when Shaq retired.
I'm looking. Give me a few. Keep talking. I'll keep
Because
researching it.
I like I said,
Open up that lane.
I think that
I
Curry.
see you're trying to pin it to Curry.
No, I'm just saying like no, I'm not just pinning it to Curry, but I'm just saying like they came with a style that
Well, I would
was
even say they
new.
changed the
I would
rules.
say more
They
Harden
changed the rules.
than Curry.
They
Even
changed the rules
it-
after
it
they
hard-
won.
And Harden, right? When you're winning with a style, they're like, okay, they got Curry that can shoot. They got Thompson that can shoot. You know what I mean? You see people when you see you're like, okay, dang, they are.
Okay, let me go ahead and stop you before you even go any further.
Thank you.
Yeah, most leagues they try to copycat stuff. Yes, you're not copycatting two of the best 3-point shooters to ever grace the basketball court, my man. So
But
therefore,
that's what teams have been doing.
that's the problem. That's literally what we've been talking about.
But that's
the
what I'm
problem.
saying. But
That's
that's
the
what.
Atlanta Hawks problem.
Yep, that's the Atlanta
Yo,
Hawks problem.
because Trey be throwing that boy up. I'm down
everywhere.
here. I'm
But
seeing
that's
it.
what I'm saying.
And
but
he's
now
not
you.
a good deep 3 shooter either. And I
No.
don't know why he keeps doing it.
But you got a lot of guys who
Trey
see
Young.
this style and they feel like it's.
Go look at his
okay.
number, Jared, before you tear up your face.
No,
my
I'm
man.
talking about this year, maybe not, but
No,
since he's been in the
the
league,
course of his career, go look at his
Percentage-wise,
numbers.
when it comes to deep threes, he's
Go
never
look at his
been
numbers.
a good deep 3 shooter. He just
I would-
hit
I would-
34. 34
34
this past year was 34 attempts. Where that significantly went up
Eesh.
from 19 to 25 was the 2013-14 season.
When was Curry? When did Curry get in the league?
9, 10.
Okay,
Didn't
cool.
he?
When he was healthy in the league. When did he play a full season? Because the first couple years he was hurt.
About
So
that
he
time.
came on late. So
So
like I
all
said,
of a sudden, everybody in the league said, "Oh, Steph Curry's shooting threes.
they
Everybody else
said
starts
the
shooting."
they said the Golden State Warriors are playing a style of basketball that fans and people like to see. They're scoring a lot of
But
points and
okay,
they're
let
doing
me
it
ask you this.
mostly with threes.
Let me go ahead and ask you this then.
So let's do it.
So
Thunder
did
too, though, but
did
it
the
was
Steve
different.
Nash led Phoenix Suns not shoot a lot of threes?
They did.
They
Did the
did,
Golden State
but-
Warriors with Don Nelson when they had Baron Davis and Jack
Okay.
and all those guys? Did they
Wait a
not
minute.
shoot a lot of
Wait a
threes?
minute though. Wait a minute though. That in that Phoenix Sun team, Steve Nash won 2 MVPs too, right?
Well, technically,
Okay, cool.
yeah.
So that team was popular too for their offense too, right?
But I'm saying you're pinning this on Steph Curry.
I'm
I
just
just
saying
gave
when
you
it
two
when,
teams
when it went
that
up,
were way
when
before
it
Steph
went,
Curry.
when it went up, when it went up from 19 to 25, from
It wasn't
17
just him.
to
James
25.
Harden was popping them.
Like you're saying,
That's
James.
what-
And I did say that.
at a
Okay,
crazy
but he
rate.
wasn't popping them like that in OKC.
Because he wasn't playing like that. He was the sixth man,
So
bro.
I'm saying when it became popular, Curry is one of the people who made it popular to shoot threes, a green light from anywhere, and now
he hit
everybody's
'em.
trying to do it.
But
That's
they
why they're
can't hit 'em.
shooting 25 a
They can't
game now.
Okay, how many Steph Currys are in NBA?
It's not. That's the problem. That's what we're saying. That's what y'all saying. That's the problem. I'm just saying, like, people see that style of basketball and now they want to mimic it. Back in the day when you had big men, everybody was looking for the next Patrick Ewing, Shaq, Alonzo Mourning,
true.
all these big men down in the paint. Now they're looking for the next great shooter.
Harden's averaging 537 threes a season.
Crazy.
Attempted.
What?
Attempted.
That's
People don't even
that's
shoot.
nuts.
Oh, okay.
Keep shooting.
He's taken 7,000 in his career. 7,528 shots behind the arc in his career. He took alone in 2018-2019 with the Rockets 1,028.
Oh
That's
my
He's averaging more
wild.
goodness.
twos and threes. I think for the last. I can't remember how
That
many.
game 7 against Golden State, he
That's
was
because all
clanging.
his
Shot 21.
that's all
He
because
was
all his
clanging
shooters
them.
foul.
It hit,
I will
it hit
never.
two.
You mentioned James Harden. I will never forget James Harden clanging threes, man. I'm like,
Man,
dude,
smoke.
That year
all
they
you
missed
gotta
like
do is
27 in a row or something like
When
that.
Chris Paul
mm,
got hurt,
Yeah.
that nigga went crazy.
Vernon Maxwell was at home laughing.
So
Man,
Oh
Steph
yeah,
yeah.
he
Curry's at
was.
533 a season.
Okay.
So they're only 4 off from each other
I,
Okay.
per
I
year.
just feel like I said, I just feel like that style became popular because
Ah,
of that style of basketball that the Warriors was playing. I don't think you can fix it now because it's a thing. And like you said,
the
Justin,
genie got the
analytics,
bottle.
analytics. Either send me to the free, either give me a dunk that's a high percentage, or give me a three that's worth more.
The only way you may potentially fix this is if somebody like, and I hate to say it because
Get
I
rid of
can't
the 3 point
stand
line.
him. No, I can't stand him. But if Joel Embiid goes out wins a championship by destroying the interior game, you may have coaches and them start to realize, all right, we do need a dominant big man again. Like,
But
guys
Let
it,
me
like,
start throwing down.
let's not forget
right,
Dwight Howard not long ago was, you know, a top player in the NBA, bro.
Mm-hmm.
It ain't that long
Mm-hmm.
ago. So
and
He couldn't
see,
score outside of free
but you
you got
safety.
even
guys.
but you look at somebody like a Giannis. Like, would y'all consider him a dominant big man on the inside the perimeter?
Well, he can't shoot, so yeah.
But
Yeah,
like, but
yeah.
even his style is not popular. He don't win a championship. He don't want multiple MVPs. It's still not
Yeah, but he plays
catching
to
on
his
like that.
strength. That's
He
the
won a
thing. He
championship
plays to his
because
strength.
of Alvin
Okay,
Gentry.
cool. Whatever reason you want to give to it, he has a championship playing the style of basketball, being the leader of that team. So I'm just saying,
Yeah,
like,
nobody's knocking that. He's not shooting threes, is
Yeah,
he?
no, but that's
and
what
he
I'm
had 3-point shooters around him.
okay.
Yes. So
And I,
guys who actually are built to shoot are the ones shooting. Giannis takes them to keep Giannis, but Giannis ain't out there shooting 10 a game.
he ain't got to give them their 50.
Exactly my point.
But
So
nobody's following his style, though. That's what I'm saying. Like,
It's
nobody.
Giannis. You got to be 6'11". One, so you can't. Everybody can't be Giannis. When you see Steph Curry, you envision yourself that, hey man, you know what? I'm 5 foot. I'm
He's
5'10".
reasonable. He's reasonable
Yes,
size. I
I
can do
can
what
do
he
that.
do.
You if I you know what I'm saying, you kind of envision yourself in doing that. But like what Giannis can do, everybody can. You can't do that. You can't. Nobody can do that
Joel B
unless you.
can he? Joker can he?
Can
They
I
the
throw
no,
same
somebody
not
else?
size.
Giannis.
I'm just saying they're the same size. You got people that's
But
his
they
Wait a
size
minute.
move
that's
different.
skilled like him that
You
don't play like
suggesting
him.
you suggesting Joel Embiid is better than Giannis, and that's not the
I'm
case.
not suggesting that. I'm saying
Joel
we're
Okay.
Embiid
talking.
can't do
I'm
what
talking
Giannis
about the
do either.
ability. I'm saying
No,
having the ability to do what Giannis do and play that inside big man game, and they just choose not to because it's not what's popular.
Can I ask something?
Yes, sir.
Joel Embiid shoots 3.5 threes a game.
Hmm?
But
He,
he also shoots a lot of jump shots too.
I mean,
He shoots
good.
middies.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, mids.
He shoots a lot of face too.
That's not
He's
like
not on the block though.
first 3-point line. Like he shoots threes.
Yeah, so that's
Oh,
what I'm saying.
nobody said that he doesn't shoot threes though.
Yeah,
Of
nah, but
course.
you were like, let's everybody something about Joel Embiid and tearing up the inside. Like, I mean, he stretches the
Oh,
floor
he
out of
gets
guard
stuff too.
Joker does too.
to the perimeter.
Right. Okay. So let me repeat what I said. I said never said he didn't shoot threes. I said teams may look at it different if he goes and dominates the interior, a la like a Shaq did back in the day or something like
Okay,
that.
all
Teams
right.
may
Yeah,
say,
yeah,
"Hey,
that's better.
that's literally
I
what I
feel
said."
like
That's what he
That
said.
is what he said.
But with that, and that's why I brought up the Giannis example because it's like even if Joel Embiid did do that, that doesn't mean that's gonna be the that's gonna be a new trend because Giannis did it and it didn't catch on. Even though they had shooters around him, he was still averaging like 32 in that
Yeah,
final
but
series.
you're trying to break a habit, bro. It's not gonna happen off of just happening once. It's got to be like so. Again, Giannis does it. Okay, Embiid
Okay.
does it. You know what I mean? It has to happen over a period of time. It's not gonna just happen once. I mean, the league is completely changed, so it's gonna take time. And let's just be real. We ain't had a dominant big man come into the NBA in a long time.
Hmm.
Yeah,
So
because you don't have to be that big man. You don't have to bang your body. You don't have to do
you
that no
need
more.
ability on both sides of the ball.
Yeah, why do that when I can step out 20, 25 feet and
I
shoot?
mean, you can bring a Shaq in the league, but if you play Embiid or you play Jokic, who's he gonna guard?
Right, they're gonna pull him out to the 3-point line,
Whoa, whoa,
and then
whoa!
there's gonna be
First off,
5 out.
hold on.
Oh
Miami
man,
shot.
yes.
Oh boy,
I know we're not about to say Shaq can guard the perimeter.
we just lost John
We
too.
just lost him.
Oh, he dropped his
I,
phone.
I really wanted to know what he was about to say.
He did
The
something.
build-up was real. He dropped his phone. He been struggling to hold it the whole time.
Oh yeah, he is.
But
Rookie.
yeah, I don't know. I just, like I said, here he is. There
There
he is.
he
Come
is.
on,
He got
man.
it back.
I don't know what happened, man.
Oh
It
no,
kicked
like
me
you
out.
dropped your phone.
I tell you, Vernon didn't want to hear that truth serum you was going to give.
Hey,
I'm for it. I love it.
Magic, the Orlando Magic Shaq could defend. The Lakers Shaq could defend. When he got out there in Phoenix, the cactus was, but like, nah, man, Shaq can move them hips, man.
Oh,
Shaq
yeah.
can defend, dude.
Yeah, but
The perimeter, though?
Yes, sir.
But we looking at a league now where it's either a 3-point shot or a drive to the bucket and either a dunk, a
that's
layup, or a
different.
foul.
Shaquille
So if you
O'Neal-
pull Shaq out of the paint, you pull Shaq out the
act
paint
like,
and you drive.
no. Go back and look at that, man. Shaq can run the floor, bro.
Man.
Shaq running the floor, man. You better
And y'all
stop.
I think what y'all getting confused. It's not like Shaq's guarding Steph.
No,
He
but
be
we're
guarding a big man who plays the perimeter.
Mo Bamba.
right. That's
Mo
what I'm saying.
Bamba
So if you
guarding
bring
Bamba.
if Joker bring him out to the 3-point line, which Joker plays from the top of the key
Young
a lot.
young Shaq can guard.
I'm not
that.
saying he can't guard him, but when you're talking about a rim defender,
Shaq.
somebody who defends the
He
rim.
can't guard young Shaq. He gonna foul.
Who? Oh no, Jokic. Oh no, nobody can guard any Shaq. I don't.
No.
I'm.
Big country? It's the second coming of big country.
No.
Big country.
man.
Oh, I
We're
ain't
not-
heard of Brian
Brian
Reeves reference in
Reeves.
years.
There's no guarding a Shaq at any point. I don't even think an old Shaq you
Michael
could really get away
Doliak. That's the
with.
second coming. Michael Doliak right there,
Oh,
man.
man.
Come on, man.
Wow. Wow.
No, man.
Oh,
No,
He'd
but
be on the island. He'd be on the island
Yeah.
himself with Shaq. For real.
Yeah.
for
just
real.
aged us all.
man. Okay, well shoot,
Matt
man.
Geiger. There you
Matt
go. Matt
Geiger.
Geiger.
Oh wow.
Mm-mm.
Chalk it up. All right, man. Well, let's switch gears a little bit, man. I think we've had.
That was a good 3 minutes.
Yeah, that was. As I said, I don't even know. We don't do 3 minutes around here. Let's switch gears a little bit. Let's talk about the NFL, man. There's a lot going on in the NFL right now. We got the draft. We talk about franchise tags. It's been huge in the news lately, and we got free agency coming up around the corner. So I'm gonna start with you, Jonathan, man. What do you think about the draft? The impact that we've already had a conversation about the combine. What do you think about the combine? And is there anybody you think coming out that may be special at the QB position specifically? We've been struggling with this QB position.
The number one the Colts have right here locally. If you follow indie sports, man, the Colts have been kind of just kicking it down the street there and not necessarily addressing. They need a young quarterback. They need a young quarterback movement, man. So if they don't have enough gumption or capital, because somebody might outbid them to move up to number one, which is where, you know what I'm saying.
Uh-oh.
Come on, Jonathan. He got one job. Okay, then question. Do the Colts have to move up to get their guy?
No.
Is
No.
it 4 guys? Is there 4 quality guys that they can wait for and possibly get one of the 4 at 4?
Absolutely. No, wait, I thought the Colts were 3.
No,
Colts
they
is
four.
four.
They
No,
behind
they're
the
four.
Cardinals and the Texans.
But you got
and
yeah.
Bears. So
Yep.
Bears, Texans, Cardinals, Colts.
Well, we know the Bears
Yeah.
aren't taking a quarterback, I don't think.
I don't think the Bears are the Cardinals. Just the Texans.
No, well, yeah. The Cardinals aren't either. So, no,
Yeah.
they're fine. They're fine.
Vernon, I don't even know if I know the Colts want a quarterback,
Don't you say it, Brandon?
but I don't know. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah.
I'm talking about don't say it.
I don't know if this is the year they want the quarterback, though.
I feel you on that, Brandon. I feel you on that. Yep.
I feel like the next year's quarterbacks are going to be better than what this year's quarterbacks are. And Jonathan, I think, will agree with that.
My thing is this though: you just do first off, if this year ain't the year, it's gonna show in your record. You'll be right back where you were. so next year you can pull the trigger again,
And you
if
have a
want to.
built-in
And-
excuse of a first-year coach.
Yep, and you can, now it's a competition. Hey, your last year guy versus this year guy. Who wants it? We already tried it with you. Do you want to keep this? You know what I mean? They do it all the time. People draft quarterbacks back to back to back every year. Look at the Jets. Look at there's a ton of teams that do it. That's been struggling to find a QB. So
I'd rather have Caleb Williams next year than any of these 4 guys.
Nah.
A lot of people high on him out of USC.
Or Drake May. Either one.
Oh,
I
Really?
think Drake May's better than at least 3 of these 4 this year.
Ooh,
Ooh.
who is he? Name the three
Yeah.
quarterbacks he's better than. Come on, let me hear it, Brandon.
Drop the mic.
Drake May's better than Will Levis.
Oh yeah, okay, I agree.
That's fact.
Yeah.
He's
Yeah.
Ooh, it's one guy I want to hear you say his name. Please say it.
Oh man,
Please say it.
we had a conversation earlier about this. I already know who you.
listen. The only one I don't think that he is better than
Okay.
is Bryce Young. That's the only one. I think he's better than Stroud
Mmm. Mmm.
and
Mmm.
the other dude we got here in the draft. Whoever
Okay.
I forget the fourth one's name,
I
but
was going to
Anthony
ask.
Richardson.
yeah, Richardson. Here's my thing. Richardson had a great combine, right? He had the perfect score, which was. What's the last time somebody 2015 had one, and it was who did I say, Jonathan? With 2015 had the perfect score.
Didn't Russell have the perfect score?
Dante Culper had a perfect score. I
Yeah,
mean,
Kobe had a perfect score.
uh, Cam Newton had a perfect score, and then there was somebody in 2016 that had one as well. But to me, Richardson looked good, but if
Mariota.
he's really that good, then Florida needs to fire Billy Napier immediately.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Yep.
Exactly. Exactly.
Immediately.
Exactly.
Because
Okay.
they
And
weren't.
it's and
Yeah.
and and this is my conversation. Me and Justin, we've been going back and forth in the chat talking about this all day today about Richardson. And I'm gonna say this again. I'm not sold on Richardson, but a lot of the mock drafts has changed since his combine performance. So with that, they got a lot of them say they got him going fourth to the Colts. So with that, I have to, being a Colts fan, I have to address that. Um, with that, I'm saying, hey, look, with his combine, cool. His tape, not the best. But then when you look at Florida, like you said, you look at the coaching staff, you look at the weapons around him, he didn't have much. There's nothing there that says, okay, this guy is next. But for him to come out to the combine and perform the way he did, it's like, there's something there.
He performed
And
in
do
his
you.
draws, bro.
Okay,
Like what?
cool,
Well, like what are we
cool.
really talking
Cool.
about?
I'm
With no
just
defense.
With no
okay. We're not
defense.
cool, but I'm just saying, like somebody. I mean, the chips on the shoulder. I feel like I would take a guy that has talent who wants to get better than a guy that just has been told that they were going to be the number one pick, who's told them that they were great and had, the top receivers in the country to throw to and all those things. And I'm an Alabama guy. I'm a Bryce Young guy. I'm with it all the way. I hope we get Bryce Young and we can move forward. But if we take a Richardson, is he not in the same realm as a Jalen Hurts? Is
No,
he? Why
not
not?
even close.
Why not?
Are you kidding me, or are you being for real?
I'm being for real. Like, you
What
don't
put him
think
in the
that? Wait a
same
minute. Hold on.
realm?
Hold on. Hold on.
What
You
put him
don't
in the
think?
same realm?
So you don't think our coach can do what he did
No,
with
not a
Jalen
chance.
Hurts? Why
Because
not?
Richardson can't throw like Jalen Hurts.
Okay, then when Josh Allen got in the league, he couldn't throw the way he throw now. But that's something you can teach.
Bro, you're not okay. Let me put it to you this way: my man completed what, like 50% of his passes in college. The windows get tighter in the NFL, bro. I'm
I
just put,
agree. I
yeah, yeah.
agree.
You can. I'm gonna tell you now. 10% didn't come from people dropping.
They were 100th in college football and drop balls. They were ranked
Okay,
100th. His
okay,
receivers. Come on.
okay.
That's a
So that
lot of drops. That's balls in hands.
so instead of completing 50%, he completed 53. Uh, okay.
You talk ranked 100. Your receivers ranked 100 in drops, and you think that's a 3% difference? Come on.
Yeah.
Okay.
How,
Okay.
so it shoots him up
That
to
don't make sense.
60%.
It's
A
close.
10%. Think about the numbers you talking about, bro. Come on, man.
Think
Like,
about the
come on,
amount of throws.
come on,
You
bro.
Let's be
you talking about being
careful.
ranked 100 in college football out of all
Hey,
those 100th?
does it say how many passes that
And
actually go into
how
the
many
drop?
drops is that though? Like tell
Does
me
it
you're
I
ranked
don't know how
100
many that is, but
doesn't tell
it's
me
not
anything.
it's not 5 drops difference between 100th and 20th.
And that completion percentage may be even to the opponent. I don't know.
Could be. That could be too. All I'm saying is that you can't write these guys off just because of college tape.
Nobody's
You
writing
just
them off, but you're talking about taking a guy who is so raw at number 4. That doesn't make sense for a franchise who, let's just be real. The coach, it's not like the coach just have all this time to make these changes. in the next 4 years, guess what? Quentin Nelson's 4 years older. Jonathan Taylor's 4 years
Mm-hmm.
older. All these guys. So you got to do a better job of putting pieces around them if you want to compete sooner rather than later. Richardson's not the answer.
Okay, so who's the answer? Who's in this draft
You
that's the answer at 4?
no, you don't have to necessarily take Richardson at 4.
Okay, cool. You don't take Richardson at 4.
That's
Who do you take at 4?
Jonathan
You know,
wants
you can
Hooker.
you no, you can still take you'll still get Richardson. You just don't take him at 4. You might want to deal with somebody who might want to move up to 4, and they don't want a quarterback. There's other good players. We know the
Right.
defensive tackle from Alabama. He got a little bit of what I'm saying
Right, but you're
crap
not.
on him,
But
but
we're not. You're not. You're not at the. You're
you
not
don't.
looking for that. If you
Yeah,
have to get a
no,
quarterback right now, because
but you don't have to
everybody
take
deem.
Richardson. You don't
I'm
have to
not
take
saying,
Richardson at 4.
and I'm not
Somebody
saying
else.
take Richard. Who? That's what I'm asking. My question to the
We don't know
crowd.
hold on. Who's picking
Who?
ninth? Seattle's picking ninth, or is it Seattle's
Carolina,
picking
I
ninth?
believe.
Carolina. Carolina's picking 9.
Okay,
Eagles are
Carolina.
picking
They
10.
might want to do your. Okay, well the Eagles they already did it. They already did your
Right.
favor, but damn. But you know what I'm saying? Somebody might want to do you a favor and take your 4 pick and then take Richardson for you at somewhere the point in the draft. But yeah,
Okay.
and then you might come away with more because the team needs more than just a quarterback. The team needs
Correct.
a tight
Right.
end. The team probably needs 2 tight ends. You know what
So
I'm
you
saying?
don't.
You
You
need
don't like.
another receiver.
You don't like. Oh boy, we got last year. Oh, I can't remember his name. It's on
Who?
the tip of my
They
tongue.
play no
Big
the
guy.
wideout.
Oh, out of
Ranson?
No,
Virginia.
For
Uh,
yeah.
yeah, yeah,
no,
Woods.
yeah.
it's got to get
Jelani
Jelani.
more
Wood.
Jelani
explosive. Jelani
Woods.
That's what that
Wood.
is.
Jelani
Yeah,
Wood
no
is
man.
nice. He just wasn't on the field a lot,
No man,
which
we need.
is mind-boggling.
No man, we need. It's a copycat league, man. We need a Travis Kelce. We need some, big Nordish, Irish. You know what I'm saying?
That's what I'm saying.
Scottish looking
I just
guy
don't.
with a beard from like one of these schools from like Iowa, from like Wisconsin. You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
Yeah.
You want old boy from Notre Dame?
Iowa actually got some pretty good. And Notre Dame got some decent ones, but Iowa got better tight ends. You know what I'm saying? But that's what they kind of need. Because like you know what, with better tight end, you get better line push.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
So let's say nobody trades up. Let's say nobody trades down. With the draft as it is, if the
We take another
Texans
quarterback
take
next year.
if the Texans take, let's say Texans take Bryce Young. Do the Colts who do the Colts take at 4? That's all I'm asking. Like let's just say Bryce Young will probably not be available.
CJ Stroud couldn't beat Michigan. How am I expect him to beat the Tennessee Titans?
Wow. So it couldn't
Played
be
great against Georgia though.
career
He played
on the
amazing
line.
against Georgia.
Yes. I'll scatter that.
I'm just saying.
Max Duggan beat Michigan. Max Duggan
That's
beat
crazy.
Michigan. He
JT
got a
Barrett
heart
beat
condition.
Michigan, but like, what
Max
did he
Duggan
do?
got a heart condition. What's
Beat,
CJ Stroud's problem?
man, beating a team has nothing.
I know there's Ohio State fans that's not
JT
picking on.
Barrett beat Michigan what 3-4 times, and he didn't even get a snap in the NFL. So that clearly means nothing to somebody's success in the NFL. Come on, man.
It means a little something. You never
Come
beat
on, man.
Michigan.
It means nothing. JT
So like I said, I'm only speaking for the Colts. I think my team is the only one with a top draft. I don't know who are y'all teams? Who are you fan of?
CJ Stroud wouldn't be. CJ Stroud would. You know what? The further you get down this job that used to be a hobby, right? Some of the people on this call have heard me say this. Your fandom you kind of detached from it.
It
So when
does.
I was
It does.
from when I was a kid, yes, I grew up on Larry Bird, so I like the Boston Celtics and I like the Pacers. You know what I'm saying? But like Peyton Manning's the greatest quarterback you ever wanted to see.
No, Jesus.
Ever.
No arguments here.
Walk on water.
Stop
No,
it.
Justin's dismissed himself again.
You good for 16, 17 weeks?
Yeah, for the most of the time.
See, I'm a Steelers fan, so
Okay,
we just
cool.
got our quarterback last year with Pickett, and people said in the draft, combine last year, he has these small hands. But the Boot balled out at the end of the season last year, so I'm looking forward to him next year. And I mean, we put one on the Colts this past year. I was there for it. So
Your quarterback got to have wiggle. Your quarterback doesn't necessarily have to be like Lamar Jackson, right? But your quarterback got to have some. Your quarterback got to have some will and got to be able to extend the play. If Richardson shows that he has that potential, they'll take him at 4. They'll take Stroud. Not to be joking, they'll take Stroud at 4, and they'll develop that. But don't expect that to be rolled out. Andrew Luck like it was, Peyton Manning like it was. They'll need a bridge because everybody's, that time we said about them.
Whatever
Damn,
they do, it's
JB.
going to come down to can you
That
protect
Wi-Fi,
him,
man.
and do you
That's
have?
the dial-up.
That's
Yep,
what it's
he
going to
still
be.
got that AOL.
Yeah. We were joking about that. So okay, um, I don't know, man. I don't know. I just feel like if Chris Ballard don't hit on the QB, he's done.
Yeah,
I mean, you can't. I
He
couldn't
just
just
got to.
imagine any of these
Unfortunately, he's put in a
quarterbacks,
position this year where it's not a lot of QB. Like, there's not a definite guy. There's not an Andrew Luck or a
man.
Peyton Manning or one of them guys you can say, okay, that's it. You know what I mean? But
It's a little suspect.
it is a little. It's a lot of suspect. No, it's okay, man. We know you still on AOL dial up, so we okay with you know.
You have mail.
that's why I produce our show, and he doesn't because of the network errors.
No,
Okay.
that's cool.
So, all right, let's. I guess we can move around from the draft. What about this franchise tag? Exclusive, non-exclusive. Do y'all like the franchise tag? Do y'all care? Does it
No,
matter?
get rid of it. No.
Why do you say get rid of it,
Bring it,
Jared?
I mean, if
bring
you
it to the
can't
NBA.
agree to a contract, then you can't have the services. Let
Correct.
that person free, and you'll move around. You
Oh,
can't
yeah,
come to a
for
contract.
sure.
You should have to let that guy go.
Yep.
But isn't that what non-exclusive is?
No.
Sir, hey, I just learned about the non-exclusive this year, maybe last year, but I didn't even know that was a thing.
Hey, like I told you, Jared, I literally like a couple days ago, I just found out like what the difference was. I never knew what it was
Yeah.
when they talked about it. So I was like,
And
oh,
come
So
Right.
when they
because you
dropped
know
it,
what?
I read it, I'm
Because
like,
most players
uh,
actually that's the most popular franchise tag.
it's
Most
not.
players most players outside of quarterbacks get the non-exclusive
Oh, okay.
franchise tag. Only reason why we're hearing about it now because Lamar is probably one of the first quarterbacks to get the non-exclusive. Because most of the time they give it to punters and you know what I mean. You know other players outside of quarterbacks. Quarterbacks usually never get to that moment because you don't want somebody else negotiating with your quarterback possibly. So
They out here franchise tagging punters.
Pat McAfee was the last coach that got it, and he got a
Right.
non-exclusive. But
Yeah, he did. He
Adam
did.
Vinatieri got it 4 times in a row.
They just didn't have
Le'Veon
nothing
Bell
to use
got
it
it, and then he
on.
didn't even show up.
Yep.
That's true.
So I'm just saying, like, it's popular. It's just not for quarterbacks because people don't. I mean, teams really don't want to run that risk. I know I wouldn't, but we were talking. What do y'all think about the French tagging? Like, I know you said you should get rid of it. Like,
It
what is
sounds
it
like
there to protect
it sounds like
players?
it's
Do y'all think it's there to
beneficial, but it's
protect
not.
players or protect owners? Why don't players in the CBA just say something?
it's a give and take. Any kind of union, there's always a give and take in negotiations. So that's just something that I think they're willing to keep in order to get other things. And that's just kind of what it comes down to when you're dealing with any kind of union. So, but like I told you, I said, really for me, it's a horrible thing for running backs. If
Yeah,
a team can keep you for 7 years and never pay you a big deal, that's unfortunate because then I mean by that time you're done as a running back if you
Right.
last that long. So I'm a first round running back, I should say, because you got your first 5 years, then 2 years of being able to be franchised. So it's like I just think that I think that it's an outdated thing to have, and they really need to just get rid of it.
Or at least like take it down from 2 years to 1 year. I mean, they could start
Do it
there.
one time, yeah.
Yeah, two
give you a
years.
one-time pass, but doing it twice, I think that is
I
excessive.
mean, even the NBA, they have some contracts have that, what they call help me out here, restricted
Restricted,
free
yep.
agency.
Yeah.
You
Hmm.
know what I'm saying? Do something like that. You know, but 2 years of franchise tag is way too much.
It's way too much. Way too much. Yep.
What you think, Jonathan? Do
Yeah,
you with it?
I can't like it because especially in this regard, the deal puts Lamar. He's going to make like $32 million
Yeah.
Yeah.
if he signs that. He can't do that, man. So there's
That's
another deal on the table. There's another deal on the table that'll probably get looked at, and he'll play. I think he'll play football this season. It just won't be like, man. Listen, he can't. You can't give Lamar Jackson Patrick Mahomes money. You cannot. And I think that's what he wants.
I don't
He
think he
wants to
wants
live in
that.
that area.
nah,
I don't think he wants that. I don't think
Nah,
nah.
he's asking
man.
for that.
He don't. Nah,
Nah,
he
was
wants more
Kyler
money. He
Murray.
wants more money than Josh. He wants more money than Josh Allen. He
He's
wants
he
more
more
want
money
the
than
deserving.
he
him.
want the
He
Deshaun
deserve
Watson
it.
contract. That's what it is. That's what he
He
wants.
does. He deserves. That's a different. That's a different. That's a different show, man. He deserves it. I don't know.
He
That's a
does
different
have
show.
MVP. So
That's one thing that none of them guys got.
And I heard this earlier, which I found to be interesting because I didn't think of it from this side of it. I forgot who it was that was talking about it. Said he's gonna have a hard time getting a deal from other teams because other teams don't want to put in the work to get a
Mm-hmm.
deal and then just to losing to Baltimore because they feel like Baltimore is going to if they're going to match
They're
any
gonna match
offer.
whatever.
So
Yeah.
other
Yeah.
teams don't want to
Mm-hmm.
put in all the time and effort to get a deal signed with him
Knowing
for
that they can't
Baltimore just
win
to
it,
get
right?
knowing that they won't win it. So I
a
heard
la
that could be an
DeAndre
issue.
Ayton.
Yep. Yep. I heard that could be an issue for Lamar in terms of it's not necessarily that there are teams that, would want to get him. They just don't want to put in the work and then Baltimore everybody's saying Baltimore is going to sign him. It's
Yeah.
just a matter
So
of when.
can he agree to something like now with Baltimore, or is that window
But
closed?
No, he can.
No,
He
he
still can.
can.
yeah, he
So
can. Like I said, there's another. The old deal's probably still on the table. It's somewhere in between. What they're arguing about is the guaranteed
the
money.
guaranteed money of it.
Yeah, he's got till
Yeah.
week 10 of
That's
next
what I'm
season.
about to say. On
Okay.
that non-exclusive tag, they can still work through it. He can. Somebody else can still come along. Somebody can get hurt, and somebody can make him an offer in the middle of the season too. So like Baltimore has to week, like he said, to week 10 to match any offer.
Because
So
but
No, I think
Baltimore,
when the season
the
starts,
money's there.
yeah,
wait,
he has to sign by week 1. And once he signs, teams can't
Right, because
negotiate with him.
does
It'll
he
have
have
to
to
that's
come
going to
through a
sign?
impact.
trade. Yeah, he
Right,
has to
yes, because
sign. He
that's
has
going
to.
to
I mean,
impact.
he's not
Yes,
under
sir.
contract.
It's going to impact other players.
Yeah.
That's why this is going to impact.
Yep.
Like he might. You know what I'm saying? My
Gus
guy,
Edwards
what's my
probably
name?
get released.
Yeah,
Yep.
somebody's going to get
Elias
released
Campbell.
for sure.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah, I don't know. I would.
Get
That'd
rid
be
of
a
them
tough
all.
position.
I'm a Steeler fan. Get rid of them all.
You say what?
Bunch of
He said clear out
scumbags
the.
in
He
Baltimore.
said
Give
clear out.
us
He
some of
said
them
clear out the
defenders. We'll
division.
take a couple of them.
Man. Oh wait, yeah. Dang, we got Steelers, Ravens,
We got the
and
AFC North in here
Bengals.
almost.
Oh
Uh
We
huh.
in the big,
shoot.
we
Wait,
in the building,
who's
man.
Ravens?
Justin's Ravens.
Justin's
Oh,
Ravens and
I like
Jared's
you until
Bengals.
that. No.
Look, I forgave you
Oh,
for
yeah,
being
I
a Duke
knew.
fan, Brandon. So we good.
Okay, we good.
Oh
What's wrong with
man.
Duke? Hold on. What's wrong with Duke? You don't like Duke?
Man, you better get up out of here, man.
Oh shoot.
Johnson, he's
That's
a
a bas-
fan too.
It's a basketball school, man. That's all they turn
Nah,
out is great basketball players. You
that's the
serious?
only thing they can get. They're great in lacrosse too, aren't they?
He said they
Huh?
great lacrosse.
Rugby. They got a
Allegedly,
couple NCAA.
it was alleged. I think wasn't it? There
Yeah.
was no conviction.
Well, yeah, that's what money will do for you.
Yeah, and private money too.
All right, hey, Ike, what do you think about the franchise tag, man? You've been a little quiet, man. What do you think about it?
'Cause I don't care about it. It seems to really be. I
The
don't want to say
Niners, the
anti-productive.
Niners use it quite often, I believe.
I don't
They
even remember the
benefit
last
from
person we franchise tag.
But I feel like they get deals done. They do it
No,
just
they
yeah,
do.
fine.
like
They do. It is a
yeah,
deal. Yeah, yeah.
it,
They don't really lose players.
it seems to be counterproductive, right? I mean, it's going to piss off whoever the player is, especially if it's a top tier player, because in their mind, like, yo, I think I'm worth this, and you don't think I'm worth this. So,
Right.
especially if you do like they're doing with Lamar, like a
Mm-hmm.
non-exclusive, because then it's like, yeah, I think I'm worth X amount of money, and then you like, all right, well, I'll just non-franchise tag you, or non-exclusive franchise tag you, and I'm gonna send you out there and let you fall on your face. So, I mean, it makes it harder to me for him to want to sign back there because it's like, all right, you kind of kicked me in my ass a little bit for no reason. Like, we could have just had a deal done, or we could have just at least continued the negotiating. But at this point, it almost like you make it in public to embarrass me. So, how do I come back in this situation? So, it seems to be non-productive. I think most of us are saying, like, get rid of it. Or, I mean, I'm with Jared. If you do it, at least, give me that 1 year and let me get up out of here.
Because
I don't see the point in it.
that's what I was saying too. Like with them doing that to Lamar, like he's a person and he's his own agent. It's emotions to come into this. Like I know if it was me, regardless of all the millions I'd making, but I'm lucky to play in the NFL and all this. You know what I mean? I've given time to this organization. I played my butt off. I've won the MVP. I won playoff games. I've invested in this organization, and now that I'm asking to be compensated, equally to my peers who may have not done as much. Now you're saying that no, I don't think that's cool. And then you tie my hands with giving me where you could tag me, and I can't do anything. I got to sit back and just wait. And then you can say, oh well, no offers. 133 good for you? Like, you know what I mean? Like literally, that's what
what it
they can
is. That's
say.
what it is. Like,
And I mean, for me to use like
I
what Jared
think
was saying with basketball, like yo, I know I can go into my job and say, yo, this is my numbers. This is what you paying this person. I'm trying to get paid better than them because my numbers are better than theirs. And if they say no, they can't keep me. All right,
right.
fine. I'm gonna go over, and I'm not gonna say what I work because I don't want
No, you good.
my business up there. But I could go over to X software company that's gonna pay me that money and give me the value that I have shown that I've earned. Now
Right.
I can't go in and say, "Hey, you paying this person $160,000. I'm trying to get 500." That's a little different. At that point, nobody's gonna say that.
Right.
Like, so I mean, it's got to be reasonable, obviously, but don't tell me I ain't worth what I think I'm worth either. Like that's gonna make me a little pissed off, and you're not
Es-
gonna have me, and I'm not gonna put in the same amount of work at that point, even if I do come back.
Especially when we have tangible evidence. Like we have stats. Like we like y'all watch me every week. Y'all see me at practice. Y'all see me around the facility. Y'all can talk to my teammates. Like there's a lot of things. It ain't like I'm just this bad guy. Like people saying, "Oh man, Lamar's a sour apple in the locker room. His teammates don't really care for him. In trouble off the field." There's nothing that you can really argue. I have one of the best TD to interception ratios since I've been in the league. I have one of the best winning percentages since I've been in the league. Like,
I don't think it
what are we
comes
doing?
down to any of that though. I've been saying this the whole time. I don't think it comes down to Ravens not wanting him. I don't think it comes down to Ravens not thinking he's worth it. It just comes down to nobody's giving you a Deshaun Watson contract. That's it. I think that's it.
But I
That's
think that's what he said. That's never been the conversation. And see, when we were talking about it
well,
before,
they
we
got
said we thought that was it. But
they got to for me to believe that they got to show like
he said on Twitter himself that I don't want I've never asked for a fully guaranteed,
oh my
but
god.
I think my guaranteed money should be equal to Russell Wilson at least.
What have they offered him and what has
135 is the max they've offered him,
fully
guaranteed.
guaranteed was
Fully
135?
guaranteed. Yes.
Smart organization though, man. They probably gonna end up making it work for themselves.
They pulled
Okay.
the power move.
I mean,
Hey,
bro, like, I mean, it's hard to believe, but like, where's
yo,
the lie?
I don't know, man. I don't know.
I don't, I don't play
It's still
poker, but
looking like
they
it's
calling
gonna
his
work
bluff.
in their favor. Like,
Big
it's
time.
looking like it's gonna work in their favor. I'm sorry to say it, but it that's what it looks like.
Okay.
I think they call his bluff, and it's looking good for the Ravens.
Okay, and so with that then, I guess that moves us right into the last part of this is free agency. Do y'all think the NFL handle free agency proper? Like, does it the ability to cut players and sign players and like that whole situation is that good? How they handle it, I guess. Any problem with free agency in the NFL? No, yes, no, maybe so.
No, not at all.
Are they overpaid? I know some people feel like they overpaid, but
These quarterbacks getting ridiculous.
Hmm.
Yeah.
This
I mean, there's got to be a limit, right? At some point,
Yeah.
there's
Daniel
got to
Jones,
be.
40 million. Come on, man. Like, that's
does does the league get a chance to make more money and the players don't?
I
The
don't think
league's revenue goes up every year. Why shouldn't the
that's
players?
true. I see what you're saying. Well, I mean, raise some other positions, I guess. I don't know.
I
But
think
for franchise tag for a running back to be 10 million, and for QB it's probably close to 40, what, 5,
it's
45?
it's 45 for the
Yeah.
exclusive. Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah, that's a huge difference.
But
And I'm with you.
and
I
that's
think
what
you
I'm
got to
about to
balance
say. That
that
go
out.
back to what Justin was saying about running
Yeah.
backs. It's like they're undervalued, they're underpaid, and like you said, you can hold on to them for a little bit of nothing for
Maybe they
7
need to
years
like
almost.
fix something with the game. I don't know. Maybe they need to change some blocking rules or something so these running backs can get off more something. But that's crazy that they're not valued, as much as I think they should be.
Yeah, I
But
almost said running back should be
oh,
able to get their first contract after like 3 seasons or something. I
yeah, I
mean,
feel like
like, it's
Maybe it
crazy.
should, and that kind of ties into what Ike said too before, like longevity. Like maybe they should take an average of like, okay, hey, look, the average running back, like you said, plays 6 years. You know what I mean? Like maybe you say, okay,
Nah, the
well we cut
average.
that. In. Well, I'm
Yeah,
just saying, I'm just hypothetical. I'm not. This ain't factual. Just saying, like, okay, if the average running back is 6 years, then maybe hey, they can get a contract after 3. You can't franchise tag them. You got to pay them. You know what I mean? Like after that rookie deal, like you either got to pay them or let them go.
yeah.
something. I don't know.
Maybe some players don't. You can't franchise tag. You
They
know,
definitely shouldn't have took out cornerbacks being able to cut the big guys. I know that hurt the running game a lot.
man,
It did.
That's a
that's one of the
terrible.
worst rules ever, bro.
Hmm.
They need to get rid of that. You know.
But see, offensive linemen about to fall into that same thing. It's like QBs. You know, hey, let's protect the QBs. And next, now they're protecting the offensive linemen. Now it's like, again, our offense, like a league that's catering to the offense. How many pass interferences? How many holds? How many of these calls have impacted
Tell,
games?
tell me about it.
Super Bowls, playoffs, like in the most in biggest games ever, it's been is a lot of times it's been a call. Not necessarily a wrong call either, but a call
Yeah, they've
nonetheless
been
on the
some of
defense.
them has been legitimate,
You
but
know what I
they
mean?
don't still.
But it's changed. Like when do we let defenses play? When do we let defenses be more physical? Like it's football. Like granted, I don't want to see nobody get hurt. I don't want nobody's career end just short. I don't want nobody in the
Right.
hospital. I don't want nobody to have lingering effects after the game.
It's
But
football. It's not tag.
I agree, but it's football. That's all I'm about to say. It's football. When do we get back to playing football, Jonathan? Since you've been gone
Damn,
for a minute.
North Carolina lost.
I know, man.
Uh
Yeah, I
oh,
didn't need you to tell me. I saw
Bubba
it.
White.
That's why Justin sat back in his chair. Okay.
I literally
Hey,
it popped up, and I'm like,
Yeah, I just popped on
on
my
a serious note, Ben Matherin rolled his ankle really, really bad a little while ago, so he may be out
For
possibly
the
rest
rest
of
of
the
the season,
season.
probably.
It looked pretty bad.
for real?
Yep.
Did they carry him off or did he walk off under his own power?
I didn't see that video. I just saw he only played like 6 minutes, and I had
Okay.
to find out why. And then there's a lot of prayers to Ben
Oh,
on
whoa.
Twitter, so I
Ooh.
Oh,
don't know.
wow.
Mm,
If they doing T's and P's, then that's yeah, that may be deep.
Hopefully it's not as bad, but we'll see. Probably be out for a while. I mean, why risk it? Season's over, basically. Let's tank, get
Yeah,
the
I was
pick.
about to say yeah,
yeah.
we're not in position to
Damn.
do nothing right now. Uh, but yeah, Jonathan, what do you free agency? You anything you see in the NFL that need to be changed with free agency or even in the NFL period? I guess now we talking about calls and things of
No,
that nature. How can we help the defense?
NFL, we'll start hearing more about NFL. You'll start hearing names on Monday. I don't think anybody can sign like Thursday or something like
yeah, I
that.
think it's Wednesday or Thursdays when the new league year is. Yep.
So
Okay.
you'll start hearing names. I don't
The
know which
Bengals are not going to sign anybody.
right.
We're going to let everybody get chosen and selected and get everybody get comfortable, and we'll get the scraps.
y'all
The
gonna
Bengals,
y'all gonna re-sign Eli Apple?
they're gonna have different running.
Oh my God.
They're gonna have different running back at the Bengals gonna have different running back.
Oh yeah, Mixon. Yeah, it ain't looking good for Mixon
No,
right now.
yeah, he got cleared again. I was
The
kind of hoping.
Jangles,
Let me
the
not say that.
Jangles.
I ain't gonna put that on wax, but it might be time for a change in the backfield. I'm just gonna throw that out there.
Okay, okay. You know, running backs expendable, man. At least the NFL feel that way.
Get you a couple of them, shit.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Hey, for real, get you a couple of them for about
That's
6, 7 million, and
yeah,
hey, your
get you
choice.
two of them that can kind of do some different things, but do one thing at least great, and you good to go.
P.
All
Ryan
right.
was looking good there towards the end of the season. He was the
Who's that?
go-to.
Yep.
Yeah.
Samaje P. Ryan.
P.
Yeah.
But see,
Ryan.
that's the
Yeah.
thing with the Bengals. We can never figure out how to get the maximum out of more than one player. Because you notice when Mixon came back, then P. Ryan just fell off. So it's just like we're too predictable. And this is historical. I'm 34 years old. I've been watching the Bengals since I was 7. It's like it's historical. We can never figure out a balance because when Mixon was out, P. Ryan was killing. But find a way to mix that in with bringing Mixon back. We can't figure it out. It's like either all or nothing, and
This is a
Yeah, the
normal.
big
This is
style.
a normal Jared Bingle rant, man.
I
He
be having to tell y'all. I be having to be like, all right, I'm gonna stop because I don't want y'all to pour it out. But yeah, don't get me started.
Bengals.
That's
All right, man. I guess we winding up, man. What's final thoughts, man? Start with you, Justin, man. You seem a little relaxed right now. What's your
Justin.
final thoughts for the day, man?
I'm
I got
enjoying the conversation, man.
I
Nah, I
see.
mean, really in the day, I'm just I'm actually just kind of looking forward a little bit to this NCAA tournament, seeing what kind of
Mm-hmm.
seedings and matchups we're gonna have for the NCAA tournament, and then kind of mix in, the start of the NFL free agency, because I think I didn't realize until earlier today there's a lot of guys out there that I mean could be impact players for some other teams, and I'm kind of curious to see where they end up landing. So
Young guys too.
yeah, a lot of
Under
young
a
guys,
lot of under
lot of
30
lot
year
of
olds,
linemen
like
too. Yeah, a lot of
man.
linemen, lot of younger guys. I mean, it's gonna be curious to see where things kind of lay with that. So
I agree. What about you, Justin? I mean, not Justin, Jared. Final thoughts today?
uh, no charges for Sean Kemp. Anybody confirm that?
oh my
Oh
goodness.
man,
Mm,
no,
Fortunately, Big
No,
Ken
Biggie,
no.
not
along.
Unexpected news I probably heard,
Rain
and
Man.
like
Yeah,
it was came out of left field and
Yeah, I
like
like.
crazy. But I
She.
heard there was no charges, so hopefully
Okay.
he's good to
It was
go.
supposed to be in defense. So
Yeah, shout out to Sean Kemp. Hopefully that situation. He's done a good job of staying out of the. Yeah, don't. It's too late to be trying to be John Morant.
Right?
Get your name back in the public eye. Yeah.
Yeah, no.
What about you, Ike? Man, final thoughts, man.
defund NBA Defensive Player of the Year award.
defund.
Back to back weeks, he defunding them.
Yeah,
All
yeah.
right.
Just get rid of it. That's all I got.
What about you, Jonathan? Man, final thoughts, man. I don't know if he can hear us.
He
Jonathan,
looks
Jonathan.
frozen.
he ain't frozen on my
No, he
screen.
ain't
Oh no,
frozen.
he
He
moving.
Maybe.
Okay.
I didn't know. Oh man,
So final thoughts. It could be whatever. On about whatever. This is how
no
we
man.
end our shows. I'm sorry.
No, I mean it's great to be on finally, man. It's finally great to be on. Like I said, we've connected already with Vernon before. We've connected with Just before. I mean, the goal is to kind of get Jerry and Ike on at some
I'm
point.
next. Promise
Uh,
y'all. Got you.
you know, you know what I'm saying, and we can talk a little bit more. AFC North for sure, man. We got some calls to kind of call in and chime in about the Bengals as well, man. So we can definitely talk about that.
And
But no, man, it's good to connect. We'll do it more often for sure, man. Just to get what I'm saying, more thoughts about what I'm saying, more thoughts in the air about different sports topics for sure, man. But like, no, I enjoyed this. I do. I plenty. You know what I'm saying? Yeah,
Oh man. Okay. Okay.
so, man. Yeah, man. Do this real soon for sure.
All right, Brandon.
Yeah, as he said, I'll say it again. Thanks for having us on. It was great to do all that. I will finish and say, NCAA tournament. If you're looking for a team to take on your bracket, or maybe put a little bit of money on the
Yes.
futures, I hate to say it, there's a chance. I love
Marquette.
Kansas. Kansas looks like a great team, even with
Mm,
Bill Self going to be coming back from this
Oh,
heart
Kansas
attack.
out there.
Kansas up there.
good
I
job.
like Arizona. Here's the thing, though. So national champions that came from the West since '97, so they're due. But Kansas, Arizona. Look at this: 18-1 Gonzaga. Who says they can't go on a run themselves? And the bracket falls their way, they get themselves back to the title game. And then the last two, I love UConn and I love Marquette. The way both those teams play, I'm going to have to see them play tomorrow in the Big East. But those two could go deep into an Elite Eight type run.
All right,
really?
man.
Respect,
Okay.
respect.
Okay.
Okay, we
Okay.
going yeah, we definitely
Hey,
need that.
and just
So,
for the record, real quick, the NBA did exactly what we thought. They fined Fred Van Fleet 30,000 for speaking the truth about that ref.
oh man, typical
I
NBA.
got
Go
last
ahead,
thing for
Ike.
Jared before we get up out of here.
Oh shucks.
Hey Jared, man, go ahead and tell Lamar. You know what I'm saying? If he don't want to worry about
You mean
franchise
Justin?
tags, you right, my bad, Justin.
I know what
Go
you
ahead
get
and
ready
tell
to say.
Lamar. If he ain't worry about franchise tags and he don't want to worry about not getting his deal, come to death row.
He done came
Hey,
with the Suge Knight.
hey,
Ike is a San
Oh,
Francisco
Come to
fan. My
death
bad.
row.
we
man.
coming.
I think we're
I'm a,
good.
hey, I'm gonna
Ike's
get
a
on the
Niner
phone with the
fan.
rep,
Hey,
Can we
come.
play
and we
pool
gonna
or
see if we can
something?
make that happen.
Yeah,
Oh shit!
Just come to
good.
death row, man.
They be playing
I'm
about.
pretty sure you could probably play corner better than the corners we have.
Oh
I'm
man.
saying
Oh wow.
Oh
I'm
no, man,
saying
I'm with it, man. I appreciate all of y'all, man. Thanks for coming on. We definitely gonna have y'all back on again during tournament time to keep us in the loop of what's going on in college basketball. If nothing else, great time with y'all. We will be on your show. We're gonna get Ike and Jared on there very soon. I appreciate Crossroad
Absolutely.
Sports linking up with us. Y'all will see much more of this in the future. And that had been the Epic Podcast. Thank y'all. See y'all next week.